So lane 2, he'll be in. Under breaststroke. Quick return from the pool for Siobhan O'Connor there. So not had much recovery time.
No, but she's a very strong British record holder in that one as well, Siobhan O'Connor. So she is on good form, we've seen. Expect her to be the favourite for that one. 100 backstrokers go again. We saw them in the skins last night. And that was an interesting event in the skins last night, but we saw a very good swim from Nicholas Pyle to win the British Championships on that one.
And Dina, of course, the winner of the skins, was the fastest qualifier. The Germans in lanes 4 and 5 with Jan-Philipp Flalia in lane 5.
200 backstroke for women is the next one, and Lizzie Simmons from Edinburgh University now, very experienced campaigner on her way to the Commonwealth Games for England, a third Commonwealth Games, and she'll be the one to beat. Jessica Fuller also looked good as well.
200 breaststroke follows that. There's a Scot in the fastest lane, but it's maybe not the Scot you'd expect.
Yeah, Tobermory Mackay champion led the big names back. Ross Meredith and James Wilby will be on either side of young Tobermory Mackay champion. Can he be the champion? Can he live up to his name?
Oh, good one now. Then the 50s, a reminder about the 50s. The first round will decide who are the British medalists, gold, silver and bronze. Then we go into skins format. We'll lose 2 in after round 1, another 2 after round 2, and then we'll drop one by one until we have 2 swimmers going head to head. Let's hope it is fast and furious tonight. It's certainly one that the crowd can get involved in, so we're looking for your support in that one. It'll be freestyle for the women, and it'll be butterfly for the men. Youth finals as well, and of course this is an important competition for the juniors here. European Junior qualification.
Absolutely, we saw a few times achieved this morning. Hopefully there'll be more tonight. 800 freestyle and an exciting relay to finish the proceedings. A lot to look forward to.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Edinburgh International Swim Meet incorporating the British Swimming Championships 2018. My name's John Mason, and joining me throughout this weekend is the lovely Rebecca Adlington. Becky, day 2, incredible night last night.
Yeah, the finals were so good last night. Daniel Jervis getting things underway in that 1500s, putting in a great performance. But one of my highlights from last night was the men's 100 freestyle. Just what a packed final it was. And it was amazing to see some of the junior guys coming through. And Lewis Burrows just absolutely smashed it.
He did.
Not only getting the qualifying time for the European juniors, but getting that British title as well. He's got to be over the moon with that performance.
I mean, you could see his excitement. He was absolutely beaming when he was on that podium. But it wasn't just that. There were so many incredible races last night. The 400 IM was a favourite for mine as well. We had Amy Wilmot in that. Maria Belmonte was obviously in. She was swimming for the international meet. But Hannah Miley, of course, took the gold in that one. And I think we've got a little clip now just to show you guys, just to share a little bit of that amazing moment for you. There you go, some incredible action last night happening in this pool here in Edinburgh. But tonight, it's a whole new night, it's a new day. Who are you looking forward to seeing, Becky?
I mean, we've got Nick Granger going head-to-head with James Guy in that 400 metres freestyle. James has got a busy night. He's in the 50 metres butterfly, and there's skins of that event as well, which is going to be an interesting one. And, of course, Siobhan Marie O'Connor's got a busy night as well in that 200 metres medley, and we'll see her going in the 100 metres breaststroke as well. Absolutely.
It's certainly lots of stuff for you guys to look forward to as well. If you want to keep up with the action, of course, the hashtag is EISM18. That's hashtag EISM18. Now, Becky, you've got to head up there and get into that commentator's box. But from one Olympic champion to another, ladies and gentlemen, would you put your hands together for Mr. Adam Peaty? How you doing, mate?
Good, thanks.
Good, welcome, mate. Weekend ahead for you, focusing on the 50 and the 100. How are you feeling going into it?
Yeah, good. You know, Edinburgh's our last stop before Commonwealth Games and into Europeans. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to kind of getting out there and racing.
I know.
Joining these lot today.
Well, we're all looking forward to seeing you in there, mate. Now, Project 56, something pretty exciting that's happening about at the moment. Tell us about it.
Yeah, obviously, Project 56 is going 56 seconds for 100-metre breaststroke. That'll be the first man under that. But, you know, for me, I'm not, you know, targeting that. You know, I'm targeting, can I get under 57 first and then see where we get from there. But, you know, going to Commonwealths now, it's all about defending my titles, see how fast I can go and see how much of a lead we can get for that relay and beat the Aussies, hopefully.
Fingers crossed. Now, mate, with the lead up to that, I know you've got the Com Games coming up and stuff like that. What are you focusing on sort of in training as we move into these sort of major internationals?
In training now, it's all about being sharp and fast. You know, we're not doing as much meters this time of season just because we want to train the body to, you know, go 100 meters as fast as you can, go 50 meters even faster. So if we're doing, you know, 6,000-7,000 meters a day, or, I mean, not a day, that would be quite easy, but a session, then, you know, we're training the body for the wrong purpose. So it's all about how fast can we be, how clean can our technique be, and, you know, at the end of the day, you know, it's a race is a race. It doesn't matter how hard you train. It depends on what's going on in the mind and how you train the mind before that event. So I'm already thinking about Commonwealths, you know, 8 weeks before, how I visualise a race and how I, you know, perform under that pressure.
Absolutely, and I know you sort of, not just the training, but you have lots of other things going on. I just found out entering tapering. You don't eat meat while you're tapering.
Yeah, it's a new kind of strategy I'm trying.
Yeah.
Just to, you know, when you're chasing something that's very, very fast, that, you know, not much of the world are going to be on or near, you've got to find new areas. And I think, you know, I'm trying to find a few new areas of 1% gain. So if I find 5 1% gains, that's 5%, and, you know, 5% will take me to a 56. So, you know, it's all about, you know, chasing, you know, the 1% these days, and I'm not like an age grouper anymore. I can come and drop 5 seconds off my PB. You know, a PB has to happen at, you know, a big meet, and that's where I get my adrenaline rush from, and that's why I'm, you know, putting a lot into Commonwealth Games and putting even more into Europeans.
Absolutely. No, I mean, it's not just this year. You've had an incredible few years over the past couple. In terms of long term, what are you looking forward to as we move forward into the future?
Long term, you know, I want to be successful and, you know, reign in the sport for the next 10 years. I think, you know, that'll be a good objective for me, and I want to enjoy it. You know, I don't want to get to the end of my career and go, you know, that wasn't a good ride. You know, I want to get to the end of my career and say, you know, I've enjoyed the journey, and, you know, I've stayed dominant for those, you know, as long as I could. So, you know, eventually there are going to be some young guns that are going to come for you, but, you know, until that day, I'm just going to enjoy it. You know, see how many medals we can get, and, you know, see how many people can inspire along the way.
Absolutely. Well, we enjoy watching you. Thank you very much, mate. Look, good luck for the rest of the weekend. Ladies and gentlemen, cheers. Adam Peaty. Good luck.
So welcome back to the Royal Commonwealth Pool in Edinburgh for the second evening session of the week. Day 2 finals, and that's the lineup we have for you. Women's 200 IM, after we've had a swim-off, by the way, for the 50 butterfly. That'll be for the reserve positions between 2 Mount Kelly swimmers. 400 meters freestyle, that's going to be an interesting, well, head-to-head, possibly to head, between the likes of Nick Granger will be in there, James Guy will be in there as well, Jade Elliott possibly as well. Siobhan Marie O'Connor back again for more action after maybe winning the 200 AM. She'll be in the 100 breaststroke. The 100 backstroke, again, that's a wide open event too. The 200 backstroke, maybe Lizzie Simmons will pick up another national title. 200 breaststroke, surely that will all be about the British champion and the British record holder Ross Murdoch going in the A final. Then the 50 meters freestyle and the 50 meters butterfly will round things off before we get to the big one, the 800 freestyle, the fastest heat, and then the mixed 4 by 100 meters of medley relay will be the last event of the program. So that's how we look for tonight. She is hot-footed it from pool deck up to the commentary position. And we'll see her event right at the end of the programme, the women's 800 metres freestyle fastest heat. Rebecca Adlington alongside me for the course of tonight. Welcome.
Thank you.
Well, welcome second time, because we just saw you on pool deck. Interesting to hear Adam talking about, obviously, every year there's a change, slight tweaks in technique, slight changes in how he prepares for things. The meat thing, it's a very interesting thing. Where's that come from? That's obviously advice from somebody else, maybe Mel.
I know, I only found out today, met him for lunch because we've got the same manager, and that's where I found out. I was like, I never knew that about you, Adam. And he says, yeah, he's done it a few times, and he found it just really, really works for him. So if it works for him, go for it. But it was interesting when he was like, I just want to be successful. I think he's successful.
I think
he's hit that.
Yeah, I think in the 50 and 100, you know, you pretty much hit it. Only in the 200 to complete. Maybe that will come in time, but certainly what he's achieved in the last 4 years has been phenomenal. Olympic champion, as we know, and of course very much part of that very successful relay team we now have as well. Yeah,
it's amazing, and I'm sure Adam's got even more medals, a bigger medal haul to add to his collection of the Commonwealth Games, but also the Worlds obviously next year going into Tokyo in 2020.
Before we get to the programme that we showed you, we do have a swim-off for the 50 metres butterfly reserves. And this will be a club meet, if you like, because they're both Mount Kelly swimmers. One is 17, that is Alex Mason. And one is 18, that's Alessandro Verdiso. And we'll have the 50 butterfly later on. If somebody pulls out, one of these two could be in there. Alex is in lane 4. Lane 4 is closest to us. Now, what always happens, although I don't have the time for this morning, what inevitably happens in a swim-off is that both people go quicker than they went in the heats. Always happens.
Well, also, they've had a bit of rest as well, because normally you have to swim the swim-off straight, straight away. So these guys should be fully rested, but the fact that they swim for the same club, they might know each other's tactics a little bit more.
Right, they did 25.75. They're going to go quicker than 25.75 this time round, aren't they? Go on. Yes, of course they are. And they probably find that would have got them in a final. 25.31, just beating his teammate is Alessandro Barisa rather, with a 25.31, and Alex Mason with a 25.35. And I say they were 0.4 of a second quicker they went this morning. Now, why didn't they do that? First time I'm asking. I never get this. Always happens with a swim-off. The swimmers always go quicker than they did in the original swim.
I've never been in a swim-off, so I don't know.
No, can you imagine 800 swim-off?
Oh, gosh, I'd pull out. I'd pull out.
Another 8 minutes or so. Becky, you can do it. Yeah, no problem. Another 8:30. Of course you can do it. No problem at all. All right, that's the reserve sorted for the 50 metres butterfly later on. Let's get into what we've got in the main programme. And we will have a junior, a B and an A final of the 200 metres individual medley. Along the way, if I can remember, hopefully I will, I'll tell you what the European junior qualifying time is. Now, look at all the juniors who've qualified for either junior B or A finals. In fact, there's only finalists in the junior and B here. 2:16.74 would look to be out of their range, although you'd think maybe there might be one or two who could get closer. Rebecca Klein's maybe in the B final. She's down at 2:20. She's got to knock 4 seconds off, or 3.5 seconds. It's a lot to ask in an event like this.
Yeah, I think when we're kind of looking at the qualifying times, even from last night, some of these times are really, really tough for them to make. But you just never know. And obviously, some of the juniors, there is a specific junior final like we've got here, but there is the odd few juniors that are in the A and B final that we'll have to watch out for as well.
So the 200 metres individual medley, junior final up first. Lizzie Kingham of City of Birmingham. Lane 2 is Daisy Anderson of Thanet Swim. Michaela Glenister of City of Leicester in 3. Chiara Schlossen, City of Leeds in 4. Ellie Cowan of Wickham District in 5. Lucy Kuhn of Germany, representing the Leipzig club here in 7. Henry Osrin of Plymouth Leander. She's 15 years of age. And we have a 14-year-old who did quite well yesterday. Freya Colbert of Nova Centurion entered on a 2:22 from this morning in lane 8.
Is there anything Freya hasn't swam?
Don't think so.
She's been in so many events. We saw her in the 800 heats this morning. She swam the heat of this. She did the 400 medley yesterday. She's becoming the next Hannah Miley.
I think she is. Chiara Schlossen, no, it's gone off very, very quickly for the City of Leeds. 2:20.98. Now remember that time again, 2:16.74. So nobody here can hang around if they want to get anywhere close to that time. I know that Chiara's had a decent season with Leeds, decent couple of years, it must be said. And if anybody can on the 200M, perhaps she will be the one to do it. There'll be a change, as there often is, with 4 strokes here. And Daisy Anderson, who didn't have the best butterfly, and certainly having the best backstroke here, has moved into the lead.
Yeah, Daisy swam a fantastic 400 medley yesterday, so not surprising that she's up there in the mix. But as we know from you, Bob, the breaststroke leg is key.
Well, we'll find out, won't we, as they come onto the breaststroke leg. And this may be the one that sorts them out. Just in the lead is Chiara Slosson, but you can see the gap is narrowed now to 6/100ths of a second between her and Daisy Anderson. This will be the leg that will sort them out. You wait and see.
Sort them out?
Yeah, well, sort them out in terms of positions, anyway. You know what I mean. So closest to us, it is Freya Colbert's on the far side. On this side is Daisy Anderson in lane 2. Chiara Slosson, but look at the breaststroke has come back in 5 and 6 here. Ellie Cowan in 6. Lucy Kuhn of Germany in lane 6. And in the outside lane, Freya Colbert as well has had a storming breaststroke leg and has come right up there. So it's given the freestyle that will sort them out this time.
I think it is definitely Daisy, Ellie and Kira that are in that mix. And Daisy just looks fantastic, and she just came back like an absolute storm yesterday. So I think it probably is between both of these girls. The other girls have slightly dropped off the pace now.
Yeah, Daisy Anderson up against Chiara Slosson of Leeds, and they are stroke for stroke trying to head for that 2:16.74, which will get them a spot on the European Junior qualifying. Well, it's going to be outside that, but who's going to get it? Chiara's, I think, just there. She is in a 2:18.84. Second place going to Daisy Anderson with a 2:12.09. And third to Freya Colbert with a 2:20.66. And that's, well, a couple of seconds quicker than she went this morning. Don't get much of the dive, do you, to actually indicate, but Chiara was leading at 50 and at 100, and I think she's at 150 as well, so pretty much not even splitting it, because you can't really do that on an IM, but in terms of position, she was at the front right the way through.
The breaststroke sorted them out, Bob.
Good. Okay. You're going to leave at this point for the next 2 days, I can see it. All right. I still maintain that, and I'll stick to my faith on that very principle. That's what happened. Anyway, the junior final is done, and we move on to the B final. And in this lineup, some fairly familiar names, a couple of overseas swimmers as well, as they come on to pool deck. Well, we've had a Leeds winner in the junior final, potential of a B final win for another Leeds swimmer. Going in lane 1, Rebecca Kleins, as they come out onto pool deck. Candice Hall of Loughborough in 2. Laura Stevens, I'm just laughing that somebody was having a chat with you as we started our programme there. I think she was trying to find out where the toilets were or something.
She wanted a photo.
Did she? Okay.
And I felt really bad because I had to tell her no. Bless her.
I'm sure she'll come back.
I think she hates me because I was like, no.
Do you know, I met that Rebecca Addington. What a horrible woman.
I didn't.
What a horrible woman.
I'm not that bad, Bob. Hey, I've driven you here safely every day during this snow, Bob.
You have been brilliant, yes. Jeremy Clarkson, eat your heart out. On to the B final then of the 200 metres individual medley. Rebecca Kleins of Leeds, Candice Hall of Loughborough, Laura Stevens of Plymouth, Georgia Coates of Bath University, Alicia Wilson of Guildford, Rosie Rudin of City of Sheffield with a 2:19 this morning, Marina Garcia that is, from Spain, and Sophia Wilson of Millfield. Sorry, I'm still tickled by that woman. You carry on.
I really felt for Rosie this morning. Obviously, going to the Commonwealth Games, she is in tough training, and she swam that 200 metres backstroke after this individual medley this morning, and she looked in a world of pain, didn't she? She was a little bit struggling better. But as these guys are going to be, this is why this meet is so interesting, as you've got the juniors who are rested back, you've got the guys that aren't going to the Commonwealth Games, that are fully tapered, they're fully ready to go, and then you've got these Commonwealth Games guys that have got 5 weeks to go, are in the real thick of their hard work, not rested back at all. You keep commenting on the boys, the fact that they've got full-on beards and everything else. So
well, the women haven't.
But it is, that's what's going to make this week interesting. Someone like Rosie, you would expect to be in that A final, yet she's here in the B final. But actually, it matters to Rosie what she does in 5 weeks' time.
Halfway stage then, and our leader is Laura Stevens of Plymouth Leander. In second, Alicia Wilson, and third is Candice Hall of Loughborough. This may well change, though, over the next 100, as some of the main movers and shakers aren't quite there yet.
It's because the breaststroke sorts them out, Bob.
Oh, it is today. Look at this. It's all...
We're in too much of a giggly mood.
Lane 5 is Alicia Wilson of Guildford, and she will be leading after the breaststroke leg. What kind of time could she do here? 1:45.16. Gap between her and second place, around about a second. Third is Rebecca Klein, and fourth is Georgia Coates. So, can she now bring it home? Looks like she will. Alicia Wilson of Guildford. There's a whole load of them in the line. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pretty much almost 6 in the line, but it will be Alicia Wilson of Guildford that will come through. And what kind of time can she post? It's going to be quick, very quick indeed by her standards. 2:17.04 for Alicia Wilson, so she's knocked a whole bag of time off her heat swim. And Alicia Wilson, very dominant, the 18-year-old from Guildford, which is, you can see, 1.4 seconds clear of Laura Stevens, with Georgia Coates in third place. So look at that finish. Well, I'd say pretty much in terms of almost like we saw in the previous junior final, Kiara Slosson leading at 50, 100, 150 and 200. That's pretty much the case with Alicia Wilson, certainly in the back end. Now we come down to the main protagonist, the open final, or the senior final if you prefer. And there will be some names in here you will recognize almost immediately. You'll certainly recognize the second who'll be coming on the pool deck. Somebody who took their 10th title in the 400 meters individual medley last night, Hannah Miley.
Oh, I love Hannah, and I felt so sorry for her last year after the World Championships, and she was so disappointed after finishing 7th in Budapest at the World Championships, and her heart broke for her. She was just, Hannah is always so positive and smiley, and last year she wasn't that person, but she seems right back on form. She had a great swim last night, and obviously being British champion. 200 meters, this isn't her strongest event, we know this. She is much preferred to the 400, so I'm not expecting too many crazy things from Hannah in lane 1, but all eyes are definitely going to be on Siobhan Marie O'Connor and Maria Belmonte there in the middle lanes in 4 and 5.
Amy Bell, City of Sheffield, next on the pool deck. Katie Matz, 20-year-old from Stockport Metro. And she comes in lane 2. Abby Wood, well, maybe she could shake things up from Loughborough University, the 19-year-old. She's certainly capable of doing it, certainly capable of getting in the top 3 anyway.
Definitely more than capable. She looked really, really smooth yesterday, and obviously finishing 3rd in the 400 meters. Amy as well. Amy's always kind of there and thereabouts, but again, she does prefer the 400, whereas Siobhan, this is her element. And Maria Belmonte, I just hope Siobhan's not near that last 25, because as we both know, if you're near Maria Belmonte down that last 25, she will touch you out.
Well, here comes Siobhan Marie O'Connor. She's got quite a quick turnaround here, because she's got the 200 meters individual medley and the 100 breaststroke pretty soon afterwards.
Yeah, she doesn't need a swim down. Just jump straight out, get back on the block. She's fine.
And Maria Belmonte of Spain, as we mentioned. Very established, very experienced swimmer now for Spain, with world, Olympic, European medals going back 8 or 9 years now. Best event probably is the well, 400. Would you say 400 is a better event for Maria?
I would have said 200 butterfly recently.
Butterfly, yeah.
She could do everything. I mean, she's a silver medalist in she beat me over the 800 as well, so yeah. Everything.
Yeah, she does a whole gamut. And we'll see what she can do here. Can Siobhan Marie O'Connor get anywhere near her Commonwealth record and British record? 2:06.88. A lot to ask when she's preparing for the Commonwealth Games in around about a month's time, but we know that she gets off to a really, really good start on the butterfly, and we expect her to be leading at 50.
I love watching Siobhan race. Her skills are just second to none. I mean, her start, she took a half a body length out on the rest of the field just on her start.
Yeah, they worked very hard on the starts down in Bath, and that's one thing that's taking shape, and this race is taking shape from her point of view. To her left-hand side, Amy Wilmot, to her left as we look anyway, and at the 50 it is 28.21 for Siobhan. Abby Wood in second, joint second with Katie Matt, at the turn, onto the backstroke, which probably is her weakest, I think, of the 4 strokes.
Yeah, but I wouldn't exactly call it a weak one, would you?
Weakest.
Weakest, yeah, but she's just so strong. I mean, she's taken nearly 2 body lengths out of Maria Belmonte. And it's quite an achievement to make her look poor, isn't it?
It certainly is.
And we know as well with Siobhan that breaststroke, she's just got such a good breaststroke leg. It'll just be whether she can hold on to that freestyle, but I'm pretty sure she can.
Abby Wood had a very good backstroke leg there. She's in 2nd place. Katie Matz in 3rd. Amy Wilmot 4th. At the moment, Maria Belmonte back in 6th place.
Yeah, that'll change. That'll change.
Has she got time to change it?
Yeah.
She's quite a long way back. We'll see. And she's in lane 5, and she's, well, a long way off the pace set by Siobhan Marie O'Connor. At the moment, it's a battle between the 2 pink or red or mauve caps of Siobhan Marie O'Connor in 4 and Abby Wood in lane number 6. And Abby Wood is not tying up here at all. She's trying to keep pressure on Siobhan Marie, but she is there about a second behind. 2.3 actually in 2nd place. 3rd is Hannah Miley, creeping up on the freestyle.
Yeah, we saw Hannah pull out of that 200 metres backstroke this morning. I think it's probably a wise decision. She just looks so tired after doing all those events. So great decision by Hannah, but Siobhan just looks so smooth. She looks so in control, and I think this will do wonders for Siobhan's confidence going into those Commonwealth Games.
Well, 2:06.88 is her Commonwealth record. She's not going to be close to that today, but you know what? In the lead-up to the Commonwealth Games, 2:12.26 is not bad at all. And it's a little bit quicker than she went earlier on today.
Can we just say, Maria Belmonte turned in 7th with 50 to go, and she came 3rd. Told you, Bob.
Abby Wood in 2nd, so it is a British 1-2, and Hannah Miley will pick up a bronze because she finished in 4th place. Just the freestyle. So freestyle does it every time for her, isn't it?
It's absolutely ridiculous. It's like something like she just picked a different engine that last 50 metres. She swims like that every single time.
2:12 plays 2:13, so Abby Wood gets the silver medal for Loughborough. Maria Belmonte won't get a medal for this, she's the international swimmer. But Hannah Miley will pick up a 3rd place for the 2:14.15. As we mentioned, not her best event by any means. Right, next we will have just 2 finals for the men's 400 metres freestyle, just a junior final and a main final. And do you know, I think this could be the most wide open final of the day, to be honest.
The junior one?
No, the men's, the senior one.
I mean, it's definitely going to be interesting. James Guy, we thought he had scrapped the 400 metres, but clearly not, as he's doing it. Daniel Jervis looked amazing this morning. He is a 1500 boy, so he's going to have the strength there. And Nick Granger, who has just been added to the English team for the Commonwealth Games due to Max Litchfield pulling out, he looks in great form as well. So it's definitely going to be a good final.
Yeah, and I wouldn't discount Jade Elliott either. The 3:53 this morning. But James Guy did say at World Championships last year he'd be either restricting or maybe even getting rid of the 400 freestyle. Well, maybe this will be the last time we'll ever see him swim it.
I will tell you this though, Bob. I told Bill in 2010 I was never going to swim the 800 again. I carried on for another 2 years.
Yeah, but you didn't pick an alternative event, and he has now with the 200 fly. So he's kind of said, right, okay, I'm going to look at the 200 fly more than the 400 free now. Can he do both?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. We'll see whether he does it after this meet, though. It'll be interesting to see whether long-term, maybe he'll do it in the Commonwealth Games and ditch it there. Maybe that'll be the last time we'll see him do the 400 free there.
I think once you've added the relays into the programme, it might be a little bit too much of an ask for James Guy.
We shall see. Anyway, we're on to the junior final. And the junior time required for the junior championships in Finland in July, 3:54.68. Now, looking through the list of the juniors, we've got some 3:57s from this morning. Luke Turley and Jakob Goodman of Millfield. And also Will Bell, 16-year-old from the city of Leicester. So can anybody get in range of those European junior qualifying times? Best start has come from lane 5 and Jakob Goodman of Millfield. Looked after by Ewan Dale. And he turns in 27.18. It'll take a while for this race to kind of unwind, and we'll see who's there. But as you can see, pretty much early stages. We haven't dropped anybody. 8 virtually in a line, separated by about a body length at this stage.
Yeah, I think we need to say, obviously, that there is a time set of 3:54, but there is spots open on that European junior team that is up to the head coach's discretion to take those. So whoever is closest to that percentage will end up going, and the team is going to be announced on the 9th of March. So even if these guys don't hit it, there is still a possibility they will make that team.
1 to 8 is separated by 1.3 seconds at the first 100. And you can't separate them out at the moment. It's one of those races, quite cagey. The times are all fairly similar from this morning, and so it's proving to be right here. Lanes 4 and 5, though, having their battle at the front of the field. Hatfield's Luke Turley in 4, Jakob Goodman in lane number 5. Is anybody going to come through and overtake these two? No, they'll still be 1 and 2, I think. Will Bell just behind Jakob Goodman, and Luke Turley in 3rd place. So 1, 2, 3 separated by nothing. It's a blanket between 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7.
They've all got really similar technique as well, like really nice high elbows, can't even talk now. A strong leg kick, just kind of consistent breathing. So yeah, it's really hard to separate them. Hopefully someone might now start to change gear and really push through and want to make a break from the field. It's just then a case of you don't want to go too soon either.
Halfway through the race, and Jakob Goodman retains the lead. Very, very slightly, though it is. Luke Turley in 2nd place. Will Bell is in 3rd. This is turning out to be an exciting race, probably as exciting, hopefully, as the senior race will be in a few minutes' time. But nobody wants to yield. We're breaking away a little bit at the back of the pack. We seem to have lost kind of 1, 2 and 8 now. But in the centre lane, still everybody in there pretty much at 250. 227.5 plays 227.51. 1/100th now between Luke Turley and Jakob Goodman. So nothing between the Hatfield swimmer and the Millfield swimmer. Perhaps we need to be concentrating mainly on those two. Seem to have broken away from the rest of the pack as they come with 100 metres to go in the 400 metres individual medley. And the nearest to our camera,
Medley?
400 metres freestyle. It is first Luke Turley at 256.83. Jakob Goodman with a 256.98. So there's 15 100ths between them.
Yeah, these boys have totally paced it right. Their tactics, they kind of just kept it really nice and smooth that first 200s, and then just changed gears on that third 100s, and now even more so, because it's interesting that they're not looking quite at each other yet, and the whole stare off and seeing where each other's at. But down this last 50 metres will hopefully see them close that gap. But at the minute, Luke Turley is just looking so strong that he wants this, and can he get close to that time?
28 seconds is what he needs to do over the final 50, and he's still being pursued and still right on his legs, and moving further forward is Jakob Goodman of Millfield. It's a great race to the finish. Turley looks like he's going to get it. The cap on the right-hand side as we look on our camera. He's going to be mighty, mighty close, and he's done it. He gets inside the qualification time for the European Juniors by 0.21 of a second in a 3:54.37.
What a fantastic race that was. Just so controlled, so smooth, and he'll be over the moon to get that qualification, as that was actually a really tough time to hit. So credit to him.
Excellent race from both of them. Jakob Goodman getting edged out. Maybe he'll go as well with that 3:55.65. Not too far shy of it. If they take 2 or more, surely Jakob will be there. Will Bell also inside the 4 minutes, as was Luke Kroon of the Netherlands with a 3:59.17. Excellent swim by our swimmer in lane number 4. Luke Turley of Hatfield, the 18-year-old, up against the other 18-year-old from Millfield. Terrific final. Well, let's hope the senior final can replicate that. There will be a... Right, they're calling that a junior record in the building. Okay. Can't confirm that for you, but they're saying that's a junior record. So
I don't think they would announce it if it was wrong.
No, I just got to tail end of that, thinking, what was that? Okay. So excellent stuff from Luke Turley. As we move on to the senior final of the 400 freestyle, and there's a German and a Spaniard in here. But all the attention should be, from our point of view, as a race as a whole, should be on James Guy in 2, Daniel Jervis in 3, Nick Granger in 4, Jay Elliott in 5, and don't forget Stephen Milne in 7. So we've got plenty of our internationals all concertinaed in this one race.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because obviously James and Nick Granger are more suited to more the 200 metres free that are kind of swimming up to the 400, and then you've got Daniel and Stephen who are probably more suited to the 1500 swimming down for this race. So we know those boys aren't going to die off, and we know that probably James and Nick might go for it early on, but I don't think they'll have that easy speed. They're not rested back for this, and Nick's a really, really interesting one, as it's been very, very short notice that he's been added to that English team. So now he's probably rested for this. They've told him he's made the team and gone, I don't need to taper, and actually panicked and upped his game. So it might be a prolonged taper for Nick.
Here's 24-year-old Perth City swimmer Stephen Milne, followed by James Guy, the British record holder with a 3:43.
I love his branding, the hat,
nice,
the logos. Yeah, I've never seen that before.
He set that British record at the 2015 World Championships. Also, the first time we saw him make a final was in the 2013 World Champs in Barcelona.
Really? Full of facts, Bob.
Well, I guess what I remember from the top of my head. It may well be spurious, but I'll give it a go.
Not be true.
Jane Elliott now at Sheffield, was in Bath, is now up in the Sheffield program. He goes in lane number 5, and here comes big boy, Nick Granger, with lane 4. So the fastest in qualifying this morning with 3:53, but it is so tight. 3:53 for him, 3:53 for Elliott, 3:54 for Jervis, 3:54 for James Guy. There is nothing to separate them on their heat times this morning.
Yeah, I don't think James Guy will quite be going his British record of a 3:43 tonight.
I don't think so. I think you're right.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll want to put in a good race.
So how does he pace it? This is the question, because he has been criticised in the past, like he was in Rio, for going out too quick and dying on the last 100.
He was, but at the same time, I think going out too quick comes a little bit from that taper and having that easy speed and just the nerves and everything. He's not going to be that nervous for this meet. He hasn't got that easy speed, as he's not rested back for it. So I think he'll try and keep it smooth that first 200 metres, and I think stay with everyone and then kind of switch gears and hopefully move it up. But I think the other boys could go with him.
Well, Jervis has already won the 1500, so this will be a notable double if he can get this, the 400 and the 15. I've been hearing some interesting stats and figures about Daniel Jervis in terms of his preparation for this event, and indeed during the last few months. Quite scary, some of the times he is doing in training. Now he needs to replicate that and get it into competition pool like this.
I think Daniel can, and I think that's what's so good about the Commonwealth Games. I always call them the friendly games, if you like, as it's not as much pressure as a World Championships or an Olympic Games, and you're not as nervous. There isn't as much expectation, so you can play around with things a lot more. We tend to see the British guys being so successful at the Commonwealth Games because of that reason, and I think Daniel, this is a good platform for him on the road to Tokyo in 2 years.
Here's James Guy playing possum, 8th after 50. Slightly different routine here. Slightly different way to swimming, perhaps.
Either that or he's just really tired.
Well, we'll find out in due course, won't we? But it's unusual to see him 8th in any event after 50, 100, 150 or whatever. Where is he up to now? He's up to 7th. So he's kind of moving his way. Jay Elliott has taken over the lead of this one. It was Stephen Milne at 50. Jay Elliott at 100. Wouldn't surprise me if we don't get another leader at 150. This is how tight this race is. And Jay Elliott training with Nick Granger these days at the city of Sheffield. Those two obviously know each other's stroke. They know how they train. They'll know what each other's weaknesses and strengths are. And at the moment it's Elliott who goes into the wall in first place, ahead of Miguel Duran of Spain. 3rd place is Daniel Jervis. 4th is Stephen Milne. James Guy still in 7th.
Yeah, this is either tactics from James that he's trying to take it out smooth, or maybe this is a case of probably proving to his coach, I don't want to do the 400 freestyle anymore.
Well, it's not him at the front of the picture. As you can see, it's the 2 Sheffield swimmers who are right up there, along with Miguel Duran. Jay Elliott trying to lead the way. Duran right on his shoulder, but this is a very impressive swim by Jay Lelliott so far. At the halfway stage, 1:54.94, Duran in second. Jervis will come strongly, though, on the next leg, and over the next 100, we'll see what Jervis is made of.
I mean, Jay should be the only one, really, amongst this field that are fully rested and fully tapered back because James, Daniel, Nicholas, and Stephen Milne all go to those Commonwealth Games. They definitely won't be tapered and rested, so you would expect Jay to be a lot fresher, a lot ready to race and wanting that British title.
Well, he's on his way to it now. 150 to go. Jay Lelliott from Miguel Duran, with Nick Granger up into third place now, and James Guy up into fourth. Just made that move.
He definitely has. Maybe he's not as tired as we expect, but he has got a lot of work to do to catch Jay here. Jay's looking really, really smooth and in control.
Main threat coming from Spain, from his right-hand side, from Miguel Duran. But watch down the bottom of your picture. James Guy just getting into the rhythm and coming through very strongly with 100 to go. We know he can sprint. Jay Lelliott trying to hold off the advances of the Spaniard Miguel Duran. Is he aware that James Guy is coming? James Guy is coming down the bottom of your picture in lane number 2, and he is catching Jay Lelliott, it would seem, with every stroke, but he has given himself an awful lot to do.
He has definitely got a lot to do, and the thing is, Jay will be feeling fresh. He will have, so hopefully, something left in that tank. So James is kind of just inside a second just behind. So it is possible, and it is definitely doable. It's how much he's got left, and James is really working hard here, but Jay just looks really smooth. He doesn't look like he's dying off at all.
Jay Lelliott in the centre. James Guy, remember, he was 7th at the halfway stage. Probably has given himself a little bit too much to do. Jay Lelliott looks like he is favourite to take this one. They're all coming back towards the man with the red cap, but Lelliott has it and is the British champion in 3:50.85. James Guy, though, getting second in a 3:51. Third is Miguel Duran. And second place going to James Guy, third place to Miguel Duran, and fourth to Daniel Jervis. So the 1, 2, 3 from a British point of view will be Jay Lelliott, James Guy, and Daniel Jervis. What an interesting race from James Guy. I've never seen it swimming like that before.
I think, yeah, but like you said before, he always goes out a little bit too hard and just hangs on. So actually, he can play around with it here. I mean, he just had too much left in that, didn't he? He wasn't going to catch Jay. Jay is rested for this. So credit to him for being British champion. I'm sure James might be a little bit disappointed with that. Even last night after that 200 metres butterfly, James seemed a little bit disappointed. But that's what I like about James, is that even when he wins, he's still a bit like, oh, no, I'm not happy with that. He doesn't just kind of want to just win. He wants to post good times as well.
Bit of a shame for Nick Granger. Fell away to the back of the field, to 7th he was, and the German Paul Zellman behind him, but he'll now have to get his head together and get himself prepared for the Commonwealth Games in just over 4 weeks' time. So a new British champion for the 400 metres freestyle, and that is Jay Lelliott of Sheffield. Right, on to the 100 metres breaststroke, and for this we will have a junior final, a B final, and an A final. Just give you a heads up on what the qualification time is for the juniors, 1:10.66. Now, do we have anybody who did that this morning? Yes, we do. We have a couple of the swimmers who did it in the heats this morning. So hopefully Tatiana Belonagov and Katie Robertson could do that in the B final.
You did question whether that counts, though, because it was done in the heats.
I'm not sure, because normally with the seniors, you're told to do it in the final, aren't you? They don't actually count the heats or the semis. You have to do it in the final.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure if they can do it in the heats, they can back it up tonight.
Yeah, I think that's should be a gimme for those two. And maybe somebody in this field will get there. Maybe we'll get more than two, because we've got a few swimmers around the 1:11, 1:12 mark. And 1:10.66 is what we need to see from them. Hannah Sheehan in 1 from Wigan. Jemima Berkeley of Monson in 2. Flora Perkin of Newton Abbot in 3. Lily Booker of City of Bristol in 4. Malika Schneider of Hamburg in 5, Rebecca Klein of City of Leeds in 6, Charlotte Rigg, City of Birmingham in 7, and Caris O'Reilly of City of Leicester goes in lane number 8. And immediately my eyes are drawn to Malika Schneider of Hamburg in 5. She'll be the leading competitor, probably coming up to the 50, but who's going to be the top of the Brits? It would appear to be Lily Booker in lane number 4.
Lily looks fantastic in the heats this morning. It's a really close final.
City of Bristol is where she is from, but everybody is now coming back to them on the far side. Rebecca Clines is moving through. Rebecca Clines is having a really good second 50 here. This is a terrific second 50 from Clines in the yellow cap. Well, she wasn't even in the picture at 50, but she's more than in the picture at 75, and she's going to go on and win this. All the momentum is with the lead swimmer, and she is going to power away to victory. What kind of time she has done? Oh,
just missed it.
4/100ths outside the qualifying time. What an amazing second 50 that was from Rebecca Clines. 1:10.7, and she wins that by nearly a full second.
Oh, that's one of those bittersweet things, isn't it? It should be so over the moon that she won that, and what a fantastic time. I mean, that could even be a personal best for her, but just to miss that time by 4/100ths of a second, you're going to be a little bit devastated about that.
What a powerful second 50 though that was. I mean, she was in the mix at 50, but when she came off the turn, she just powered away. Terrific. Good turn. Got herself in the stroke pretty quickly, very early.
But there's nothing worse than seeing a breaststroke swimmer die, is there? It just looks so painful.
And she didn't, that's the point. She kept it going and probably could have gone on for a little bit longer there. So hopefully with that, missing out by 4/100ths, she will get a look in on the European juniors in the summer. Certainly deserves it off the back of that. But there are some other juniors who will fancy going a bit quicker, and indeed did go a bit quicker this morning. As we look at the B final, which contains 3 juniors in it. Mentioned Tatiana Belonagoff of Guildford and Katie Robertson of South Ayrshire. Also in lane 8, but not obviously able to qualify for Great Britain, is Rosie Metz of the Netherlands. And the times in this one are all fairly similar. Kind of 1:10.20 up to about 1:11 or so. So there is a 1:10.66 awaiting. Maybe one of our juniors, 2 of them in this field. When we get to the senior final, Siobhan Marie O'Connor will be back again for more. And she is also the British record holder in that event as well, like she was in the 200 metres individual medley earlier on. So Abigail Hurst of Millfield goes in 1, Evelyn Alvarez of Spain in 2, Tatiana Belonagoff of Guildford in 3, Katie Robertson of South Ayrshire in 4, Sarah Vasey of Loughborough in 5, Katie Matz in 6 for Stockport, Imogen Clark in 7 for Loughborough, and our Netherlands swimmer Rosie Metz in lane number 8.
It surprised me that Sarah and Imogen, who both train with Mel Marshall, who obviously coaches Adam Peter, these girls train alongside Adam, and they didn't quite make that A final this morning, which was quite surprising, especially from Sarah, who obviously is going to the Commonwealth Games. But hopefully these girls will be wanting to kind of correct that. But interestingly, last night when the girls in the B final swam well, it still doesn't count towards that British title. You have to do it in the A final. But Sarah is looking fantastic here. You can tell that she swims really similar to Adam, I always think. Every single time that I watch Sarah swim, she does swim very similar, and obviously having the same coach, they're trying to replicate Adam's stroke, but it must be really difficult because she's totally built, obviously, very, very differently to Adam.
Sarah Vasey and Imogen Clark doing what they do in training, going head-to-head, also trying to come back in there as Katie Matz. And Katie Matz is moving her way through. It's going to be a very, very tight finish between 3 of them. We're looking at lanes 5, but probably lane 3 maybe. Belonagoff, does she get there first? She does, 1:09.10. She has made the time, has Tatiana. Our junior is definitely on the way to the European Junior Championships with that time. 69.10, Sarah Vasey with the 69.35. And Katie Matz just under the 1:10, 1:09.95. Good swim from Tatiana.
Yeah, Katie Robertson getting the qualifying time as well. She managed to do it again. So if that heat didn't count this morning, even though she did do the time this morning, it will definitely tonight as she's just smashed that time again.
17-year-old from Guildford, though, going on to win. And win with a very good finish. Really nice finish. A bit like we saw in the previous final. Nice finish. Really smooth finish, and getting the job done in a very, very good time indeed in the B final. So 2 good winners in that. Who's going to win the next one?
I guess it depends how much Siobhan kind of exerted herself during that 200 metres individual medley. I mean, didn't look like she was that challenged, did it? But at the same time, you never know. And she backed it up this morning. She ran a fantastic heat this morning, so hopefully she can do tonight. But, I mean, you've got some really fast girls in there, Molly and Chloe. Obviously, both of them are more suited towards the 200 metres, but both of them made that final. We were talking about Molly's stroke this morning and how long it is and the difference between the 100 and the 200, and that you just have to completely attack the two very differently, but both of the girls cross over into that 100 metres, obviously, for the relay purposes as well, because Siobhan can't do the relay by herself, because Siobhan, you could put Siobhan on any single, you could put her on the freestyle leg as well.
Yeah, quite, yeah. And she has done, I think she's done the butterfly and the freestyle at different times, hasn't she?
Maybe she just needs to do a turn. She should do the butterfly, just turn into the freestyle on the relay as well.
Just change her name for the next leg. We've actually got a different swimmer, it's a different name. Corey Scott will go for Edinburgh in lane 1. We just saw Cara Hanlon of Edinburgh come on the pool deck in lane 8. Here is Chloe Tutton after Molly Renshaw. Molly Renshaw will be next with a 69.6 this morning for Loughborough University, as we were mentioning, probably better suited or certainly more associated with the 200 metres. And Chloe Tutton likewise goes in lane number 2. From Spain, it is Marina Garcia. And if you have just joined us lately, the overseas swimmers can't win medals here. They are allowed to compete in the final. In some events, they're not even allowed to compete in the finals. And it's only British swimmers only, but in this one, they are allowed to compete in the finals.
Yeah, and they still get the prize money as well. I think that's what has enticed a lot of these guys over here, is that there is prize money up for grabs. So they still get the prize money. It's just that they don't get to go on the podium and get that medal. 2
Spaniards in here, by the way, as we see Siobhan Marie O'Connor back on pool deck again from Bath University, but the fastest in the field. And she's got a very quick time, is the 29-year-old, very experienced Spanish swimmer, Jessica Val in 4. Let's see how this starts to develop. Siobhan Marie O'Connor, of course, what, 40 minutes ago? Something like that. Probably half an hour ago, actually, was involved in the 200 IM. So let's see what her powers of recovery are like. I think we have seen over time, they are pretty good. But she's up against a Spaniard who's won some medals along the way in this event under breaststroke, Jessica Val. And Marina Garcia, a 23-year-old from Spain, is on the other side of her. And from Ireland, Mona McSharry, I don't think I mentioned, is the 18-year-old from Ireland in lane number 3. Much improved event in British swimming over the past few years. The 200 in particular, the 100 is starting to get there as well now. And we know Siobhan Marie O'Connor has a start of great fortitude. Mona McSharry's had the best start from Ireland in lane 3.
I think, yeah, Jessica needs to do a little bit of work on her start, as Siobhan just kind of blew the field away there. But Siobhan has got one of the best starts in the world. But, yeah, Jessica has regained what she lost there on the start, definitely.
Well, it's the Irish swimmer, Mona McSharry, who will lead at the turn. Jessica Val in 2nd. Chloe Tutton in 3rd place. Siobhan back in 6th in the 50. Now, is she going to make up this ground, or is she not? It looks to me like Jessica Val is going to win it, but Mona McSharry of Ireland has other ideas, and Chloe Tutton's starting to come through quite strongly in lane 2.
Chloe Tutton looks great. Obviously, she is more favoured to the 200 metres, so hopefully she won't die off too much, but Chloe looks great.
Can she catch the Irish swimmer? Can she catch the Spanish swimmer? Or is it going to be overseas 1-2 with Chloe getting 3rd place? Well, she's coming, she's coming, she's coming. She might get 2nd place here. And the winner, Jessica Val. Chloe does get 2nd in 1:08.02. 3rd place to Mona McSharry. So the 1, 2, 3 from a British point of view will be Chloe Tutton, followed by Siobhan Marie O'Connor. And then it will be Molly Renshaw in 7th is going to finish 3rd, isn't she?
Yeah.
Am I right in that? Yeah, she is. So it's not bad. You finish 7th and you get 3rd place. that's quite an upgrade. Just proved to be a bit too much for Siobhan, who does have that British record. Obviously getting herself prepared for the Commonwealth Games, 1:06.34. So Siobhan Marie O'Connor missing out on this occasion, and a win for the Spaniard. Coming up next, it will be the medal ceremony for the men's 400 metres freestyle. And good to see, after he's made his transition from Bath to Sheffield, that things seem to be working for Jane Elliott now.
Yeah, it's great to see him back on form, and for him, obviously, he is rested and tapered back for this meet, whereas James Guy and obviously the other boys aren't. So for him, he'll be just feeling really over the moon with that. I think it's always tough when you miss out on the Commonwealth Games and making that team, but actually it's just a confidence boost to come here and get that British title.
Yeah, seems very happy up there. Nice programme. Nick Granger, of course, is his teammate up there. Nick falling away a little bit today, but I think we'll see a big smile from Jace. Had some hard times. I think he doubted himself, in fact, nearly gave up the sport. I think he thought at one stage, this is not going to happen for me. Sheffield is kind of where I need to go, give it one last chance and see what happens. And, well, just seem to be benefiting from that.
Yeah, it's obviously working for him.
Well, Daniel Jervis already got the 1500 title. Wasn't able to get on the top rung of the podium today, but another medal to take away from Edinburgh this week. A curious swim from James Guy, who was 8th, then he was 7th, and all of a sudden he was 4th. And he did, at the end, put on quite a bit of pressure on our winner.
Well, James has got the 50 metres butterfly at the end of the programme, and as well as the fabulous skins event at the end, which James is taking part in.
And here is the British champion, and looks very happy with it. Big smile on his face, a lot of hard work's gone on in Sheffield. And he didn't do the 1500 here. Rather surprising. I thought we might see him in that.
Congratulations, Jay. British champion must be happy with that one.
Yes, it's always nice to hear British champion. Like, never been a British champion before, so it's a great feeling. But I just wish it was a bit quicker. But I can't really complain too much, I guess.
You can't. I mean, you did well, mate. More to come, I'm sure. You've just moved to Sheffield. Are you happy with the move?
Yeah, very happy with the move, yeah. I'm really happy with the technical advice that we're getting. Stroke didn't feel quite where I wanted it to be today, but we're just going to go back and work on that in the coming weeks and get ready for Cheltenham.
Absolutely, always time for improvements. And one last question. You usually do the 1500. Is you didn't do it yesterday. You're coming into this one. Is this going to be your main focus now?
Yeah, probably the 400 is now my main focus. I was a bit I would have maybe done the 1500. The 400 wasn't first, no second. So I just did the 1500. Dropped the 15 instead of the 4.
Look, congratulations, mate. First time British champion. Well done, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for Jay Lilliard.
So we're going to get the medal ceremony now for the women's 200 metres individual.
Were you dancing there, Bob?
No, my hands were dancing. The rest of me wasn't. I was actually trying to work...
That was serious dad dancing, can I just say?
Yeah, well, I'm at that age now. It's granddad dancing for me now. Come on, for heaven's sake. You young people, you just don't know, do you? But I'm with George Formby records, and I'm away.
Who?
George Formby. Ask your mum. Ukulele. Do you know George Formby's ukulele? Oh, okay. It's a different life, isn't it? It's a different life. All together. Anyway, let's look at the medalists, and they're all British medalists, of course. Now, I think in trying to work out who got what, I missed out Hannah Miley. So Hannah Miley gets the bronze, because we were trying to look a long way down. We thought that potentially on that... Oh, we got that's right. Yeah, I got everything right in the right order. So it is Hannah Miley in 3rd place.
Abby Wood had a great swim there.
She did.
She just looks so smooth. She's definitely got a bright career ahead of her.
And Siobhan Marie O'Connor, the British record holder, well, she just blitzed that field, didn't she? She went out, pretty much won that race from the start, which is what she does, the 25 meters per second. Well, where does she go?
Siobhan, congratulations, British champion. That's your weekend done. You must be over the moon.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm really pleased with the swims that I've done here, and yeah, it's good to win the 200 medley amongst some amazing girls. So yeah, I'm really pleased.
Absolutely, the IM's been one of my favourites in the female programme to watch this year. You're done now. That's your weekend over. How are you going to celebrate?
Well, I'm not entirely sure. I'm supposed to fly home tomorrow, but I might be stuck. But yeah, no, it's been a really good week. I'm excited to just finish last preparations for training before Commonwealth Games.
Absolutely. Well, look, congratulations and good luck at Commonwealth. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Siobhan O'Connor. Yeah, last time we will see her in the pool because her programme is done.
2 days, not 4 days. Some other people like Hannah Marley will be going right to the very end, but no, Siobhan decides to duck out after 2 days.
I think that's a good move by Siobhan. I mean, we know that she gets ill quite a lot. These guys are in their last bit of preparation, so she needs that weekend's rest, and who knows, she might be stuck here anyway with the
she might say, can I do that one as well, please, miss?
I love that John thought she was going to go out celebrating 5 weeks after the Commonwealth Games.
Well, the only time
really.
you celebrate is after you've swum at the Olympics, isn't it? That's when you lot celebrate.
Pretty
supposedly.
much.
Yeah. So Jonathan Edwards told us. Noise in the Olympic Village.
Well, swimmers are angels, Bob. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, floating on a little cloud. I can see you.
We are.
Men's 100 backstroke then, the junior event. So what are we looking at here? 55.50.
That is a fast time.
Whoa.
Some of the seniors won't even go that. That is a really, really tough time. One of the hardest qualifying times.
The only person who got close to that this morning was the German Christian Diener, who we know has been an Olympic finalist. So that kind of shows you what it's like to try and get that time.
You have to be an Olympic finalist to make the European Juniors.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that time has moved on, of course. Liam Tancock still holds the British record. Set at the World Championships in Rome, 2009, 52.73. Nobody will get anywhere near that today. 52.73 is out of range for any of the swimmers in this event. About the junior final, Charlie Brown of Sheffield in 1, Jacob Davis of City of Birmingham in 2, Santos Villalon of Millfield goes in 3, Scott Gibson, East Kilbride 4, Jari Grönhart of the Netherlands 5, Miles Sturck of City of Leeds in 6, Jamie Scholes of City of Peterborough in 7, and Michael Rees of Sutton Cheam 58.41. And again, it is 55.58. We are looking for a very even spread right through from lane 3 through to 8. They are pretty much all in a line. This is going to be a very, very tight race indeed.
I think even though these boys might be off that qualifying time, it'd be interesting to see who the new juniors are. I mean, we've seen obviously Liam retire and Chris Walker-Hebben being 28. We need somebody that is that second reserve swimmer for the major meets, and somebody that is going to be there in Tokyo. So we've got such a fabulous relay. So in 2 years' time, we need these boys to be on form and making that Olympic team.
That was an amazing turn by Charlie Brown. He got himself from about 6th place up into about 3rd place in the matter of a few meters. He's not going to win this, though. The two centre lanes are battling it out. It is Scott Gibson and Jari Grönhart. And Gibson gets there first in 1 minute point. Oh, it's not 1 minute point.
No, that's the reaction times.
Okay, here they come. And Charlie Brown, oh, it's all over the place. Jari Grönhart actually got that, 56.96. And Scott Gibson in 2nd place, 56.98. They are, it's on your screen now. And the winner, Jari Grönhart, 56.96. So tight on the finish. 2 100ths between Grönhart and Scott Gibson. Charlie Brown, who was actually looked out of the race at 50, had such an amazing turn on the 50, he got himself up into 3rd place. That's the junior final done. They'll be getting close to that 55.58 as we anticipated. No juniors in the B final, but there is a junior in the A final. And do you know what? Nicholas Piles 56.04 gives us maybe hope he could do that.
It's pretty close, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he won the 50 metres backstroke last night, so hopefully he can back it up tonight.
Well, the B final of the 100 backstroke coming up. And Craig McNally finds himself in this one. In lane number 1 for the City of Glasgow. Thomas Gilroy will go for Pioneer 79, which I've now found out is the Northwest. I didn't know where Pioneer was, I have to say. But
me neither.
No, they're up in the Northwest of Blackburn territory, is that right, my esteemed producer? Yeah, Blackburn area in lane 2. Jack Shillinglaw of Ellesmere in 3. Duncan Scott. Duncan Scott in 100 backstroke.
It's interesting, Duncan this week, obviously we know him for his Olympic silver medal, of course, and it being the stormhouse that he is over the 100 metres freestyle and 200, but not quite for the 100 metres yet. He's doing the 100 metres breaststroke, the 100 metres butterfly, backstroke, and freestyle. Why not?
Yeah, well, why not? Got the opportunity to do that here as he gets himself prepared also for the Gold Coast in a few weeks' time. Andreas Wiesner of Germany in 5, Perry Gardner of Plymouth Leander, 21 years of age, goes in 6. Carl Chisholm of Stockport Metro, and Liam White in lane 8 for Swansea Aquatics. Oh, we know Duncan Scott can probably get, well, we don't know, because we don't see him very often in the backstroke, but...
I don't think I've ever seen him do backstroke.
No, well, we have now, just saw him this morning, but we're going to see him for a second time here. 56.43, actually wasn't his personal best from this morning. Let's check back through our records to find out what his entry time is on the 100 backstroke, which I will find as the race unfolds. So this is the B final of the 100 backstroke.
To be fair to Duncan, he had a really good start there. It's one of those that you kind of wouldn't expect, but yeah, he had a really, really clear start.
Entry time is 55.98, by the way. Went a bit slower than that this morning. And you will see him in lane number 4. How close is he going to be to the front of the field? We're not that close in the end. It's going to be lane 2 that's going to turn first. That's Thomas Gilroy in 27.22, Liam White in second, and Duncan Scott back in 7th at the moment.
Yeah, Craig McNally in lane 1 there has kind of clawed it back, which you kind of expect, obviously being more orientated to the 200 metres, but this is a pretty close race. I can't call this.
No, well, you're right. And look at lane 8. What a flying lane 8 Liam White's having from Swansea Aquatics out on the far side of the pool. Is he going to be an outside smoker? He's going to be close. 1 or 8. Which one do you give it to? Look at that. Craig McNally gets in 56.44. Liam White 56.67 in second place. And Duncan Scott with a 56.78 coming up in 3rd place.
Not bad for an event he doesn't do.
No, very good. Not as quick as he has been at somewhere where he posted a 55.98. Didn't matter on the day, because 56 was good enough, and certainly good enough as far as he's concerned for a 3rd place finish for the University of Stirling. And it'll be the 100 free that we'll see him in, mainly in his best event when it comes to the Commonwealth Games in a few weeks' time.
Yeah. So who are you calling for this A final, Bob? Which British boy?
I'm going to go for Nicholas Pyle, actually. I think he might do the double. I think he might do the 50 and 100. I think he's...
Heard it here first. Your predictions have been really good so far, Bob.
Yeah, this is where it all comes a bit unhinged and a bit unstuck, I think. But I've seen him quite a bit in the North East Counties events I've done over the last few months. And he is improving in leaps and bounds.
To be fair, Nicholas isn't going to the Commonwealth Games, so he should be rested for this. He's more fresh than Luke Greenbank, who is in lane 1. He is going to the Commonwealth Games, so you'd expect him to be feeling a little bit heavier, should you say. And obviously, Luke is a bit more suited, I would say, for the 200 metres over the 100 metres.
Also in this, of course, is Chris Walker-Hebben. He'll be going in lane number 6, and Elliot Clogg as well. Former Sheffield, and indeed, I think he learned his trade in Mansfield. I think he was actually in Mansfield where he learned his swimming.
See, Mansfield are full of swimmers.
Well, so he's come through the Mansfield programme, gone to Sheffield, and now is at Loughborough. That's a beard as well from Mr. Xavier Castelli. To the Cardiff. Goes in lane number 7.
You and your beards.
Excuse me. Nicholas Pyle of Newcastle. Going in lane number 2. This set me off again. Chris Walker-Hebben of University of Bath in lane number 6. Next on pool deck is Brodie Williams of Millfield. He looked very good this morning, 55.98. Next will be the first of the 2 Germans. In fact, they'll be side by side in 5 and 4. Jan-Philipp Glanier and Christian Diener. He's a very established and very experienced German, say at European and Olympic and world level, the 55.46. Well, we'll be watching those 2, but we'll be looking to see who is the British champion. Of course, also looking to see whether Nicholas Pyle can get the 55.58 he needs to automatically make that European junior team.
I mean, he has got to drop half a second, but you can do that just from morning to night, and obviously I think for him, he swam the skins last night, so we know that he's not going to die off. We know that he's got good endurance, so hopefully he can back it up.
We shall see. Very stacked field, though. Luke Greenbank in 1. Nicholas Pyle going for the 50 and 100 double in 2. Brodie Williams and Millfield. Then the 2 Germans, Diener and Glanier. Chris Walker-Hebben, of course, this is chosen event now, having come down from the 200 a couple of years ago, maybe more than a couple of years now.
It was definitely more than a couple of years.
And then Xavier Castelli of Cardiff in 7, and I think it was after the London Olympics, actually, they started to come down to from 200 to 100.
Yeah. 6 years ago now, Bob.
Time flies, doesn't it, when you're having fun. Xavier Castelli in 7, and Elliot clog of Loughborough goes in lane 8. So let's see how this one unfolds and who's got the best start. Best underwater definitely was Christian Diener of Germany. He used his full 15 meters there.
Yeah, you wouldn't expect in this A final to blow the field off just from the start, would you? But yeah, fantastic start.
So it's Diener they got to catch. Obviously, we're looking to see who it could be from a British point of view. Chris Walker-Hebben's having a good first 50 as well. It is Diener from Chris Walker-Hebben, then the other German. And at the moment, my pick, Nicholas Pyle, is back in 4th place. And has some work to do in lane number 2, and I'm not sure he's quite going to do it in terms of winning the race. It's not going to be the top Briton either by the looks of things.
Chris Walker-Hebben's really coming through now. He looks fantastic. Someone that we thought that wouldn't probably win it is doing really well.
Well, a blanket finish. Is it the German or is it Walker-Hebben who gets it? It is Glania just ahead of Walker-Hebben with a 55.26. Nicholas Pyle 55.53. He's got the time though by 5/100ths of a second for the European juniors.
He'll definitely be pleased with that. He might not have backed up that British champ, but at the same time, getting that European junior time, that's what it's all about. As obviously the 50 metres backstroke, which they swam yesterday, isn't in the European junior programme, so didn't qualify, even though he was British champion. So for him, he'll be over the moon with that swim. And for Chris Walker-Hebben, yes, he did get touched out, but actually he's still British champion.
He is, because it was a German that won it. Philip Glania, German in 3rd place. So it will be Walker-Hebben, Greenbank and Williams who will get the 1, 2, 3 from a British point of view. On to an event where the world record stood for so long to a Brit. That was only broken at the Worlds last year. Gemma Spofford's 200 backstroke record, I think, only went last summer.
No, Gemma had the 100 metres.
She had both.
The world record?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought Gemma only had the 100 metres world record.
206.66 it was. Yeah, so 2009. And it's a time that nobody's going to get close to here, I don't think. But we'll see what times are going to come up on this. We'll have 4 juniors going in the B final. Obviously a full set of juniors in this final. And there are no juniors in the senior final. Coming up a little bit later on. But that's a British record, 2009. Gemma Spofford, 206.66. Ella Shields of Milngavie and Bearsden in 1. Neem Page of Newcastle in 2. Sophie Maguire of Mid-Sussex in 3. Caitlin Hubbard of City of Birmingham in 4. Kiara Barber, Wickham District in 5. Pia Murray of Ellesmere in 6. Mia Slevin of Deventio in 7. And Ellie Turner of Carnegie going in lane 8. Final of the juniors for the 200 metres backstroke. And in terms of the time we're looking for this, 2:14.06. That's quite a tough time too.
It is, but some of the girls, obviously, that are in the B final might possibly get that. We have got Lexi in the A final that could possibly make that time because she's only 0.4 off it.
Yeah, Heart of Midlothian, though she's not actually down on the sheet as a junior, oddly. Oh, she is, I'm sorry.
She is?
Yeah, she is. I see the J now.
Put your glasses on, Bob.
Yeah, I'll put another pair of glasses on top of a pair of glasses. You'll be able to see that then. 50 done then in the 200 backstroke final for the juniors. And in terms of how this one is sorting itself out, lane 4. And Caitlin Hubbard, I'm sure Mum's watching on, City of Birmingham, 2:18.39. And all looking nice and, well, measured is probably the word I want to use for the first 100 from her. And it will be Caitlin who will turn in first place in a 66.86. Second place to Neem Page, and third place, top of the page from Ellis Shields.
Something I always find fascinating is the nose clips. Because I still don't know, I can't use them. I can't. It still baffles me. I still watch it.
How many were in them? There's not many, are there?
There's not many, but yeah, there was definitely a few in this. And Chris Walker-Hebben used to wear one for a long time. I always remember Marco Bucklin always used to wear one as well.
Does it not feel uncomfortable because it's kind of pinching your nose? And I know what it's supposed to do.
I just couldn't breathe.
No,
that's more my concern.
Yeah, exactly. I'm kind of thinking along those lines as well. Caitlin Hubbard has led for 150 metres, but the pressure is now on her from Neem Page of Newcastle coming through in lane number 2, looking for them on the far side as well. Look at lanes 7 and 8, Mia Slevin of Davencio and Ellie Turner of Carnegie. There might be 4 or 5 all going to the wall together. Can Hubbard hang on? I think she's just about going to, and she is, in a 2:18.12. Second place, 2:18.69 for Ellie Turner and 2:18.91 for Mia Slevin. Look at that in the end. There was only 7/10 of a second between 1 and 3.
Yeah, the girls falling quite short of that 2:14 time there, but at the same time, it's just good to, I think, get in and race. They post similar times to what they did this morning as well, so they've got to be happy with that, backing up that sort of time.
4 under 2:19 there, 2:18.97 for Kiara Barber. All British 1, 2, 3 and 4. As we move on to the B final of the 200 backstroke for women. And in this field there will be overseas interest from Spain. Melanie Costa going in lane 1. And for the Netherlands with Marieke Tienstra in lane number 7. Lily Bosley, a junior. Rachel Anderson, a junior. Sophie Hobber, a junior. And Daisy Anson, 4 juniors in this B final.
I mean, we've seen Daisy already tonight going in that 200 metres medley at the start in that junior final. So wondering what she will have left, but she's obviously in lane 8. She's not the fastest qualifier. Lily from Sheffield is the fastest qualifier in a 2:15. She is a junior, so she has only got to drop a second, just over a second and a half to get that European junior qualification.
Let's see whether she can do it. Coming up soon, we'll see Lizzie Simmons go in the senior final as the fastest qualifier with a 2:13.48. The target time for the juniors involved in this race is a 2:14.06 in the 200 backstroke. Let's see if any of them can get close to it. Lily Bosley was the closest to it this morning. 2:15.74, but I think she has gone quicker than that. Melanie Costa of Spain in lane number 1. Isabel Jones, Millfield 2, Anna Main of Woking in 3, Lily Bosley, City of Sheffield in 4, Rachel Anderson, Millfield 5, Sophie Hobber of City of Leeds in 6, Marieke Tienstra of the Netherlands in 7, and Daisy Anderson, who we've already mentioned, having a second swim of the afternoon from Thanet Swim in lane number 8. Lane 7 is where the early pace is coming from the Netherlands swimmer, Marieke Tienstra. She will touch the wall first, just ahead of Sophie Hobber. Then Lily Bosley in 3rd place for the City of Sheffield, and 4th, just a little bit further back, is Rachel Anderson. That's your 1, 2, 3, 4 at 50. This race, though, will change complexion over 200 metres.
I think backstroke has got one of those strokes, I think we were talking about earlier, how in breaststroke you get such a difference in technique. Even on freestyle to a certain extent, some people swim with straighter arms and the bent elbows. Butterfly, you get that difference as well, breathing every 1 or 2, or breathing to the front and the side, and all the different timing, whereas backstroke, it's kind of like for like, isn't it, really? You don't get a much difference in technique.
Well, Lily Bosley has worked her way through the field, and she leads at the 100 stage with now getting on for 75 metres to go, but the race is very, very tight indeed. 4, 5, 6 and 7, all pretty much in a line. Let's see whether she can see this clear. Lily Bosley is leading, but it's tight, because right alongside her, Rachel Anderson and Sophie Hobber are coming back into the picture. The Sheffield swimmer will get to the wall just ahead of the others. 1:40.49. Remember, the time we're looking for is a 2:14.06. Is she capable of that split of doing it?
It's definitely capable. It's how much she's got left in the tank, but she does look like she's pulling away from the other girls here.
So Lily Bosley, City of Sheffield, seems to have broken the back of the other swimmers around her. It's her against the clock now, looking for that time of 2:14.06. The 17-year-old from the City of Sheffield, the 2:15 this morning. What time can she do tonight? Can she get there? She's gone slightly in excess of the time she needs. Quicker than this morning, but not quick enough to get that qualification time of 2:14.06. But champion from the B final is Lily Bosley, Sophie Hobber in second place, and Anna Main in third.
They might still possibly take her. She's so close to that qualifying time. So they'll look at how many people have made the times, and they'll be on the team automatically, obviously, and then they'll look at all the different percentages, and they'll make the rest of the team up. So she still could be in with a shout.
Yeah, Tim Jones is the man who's got that call, isn't he?
The power.
The power.
He's got the power.
He'll be going through that, and the team is named next week.
Yes, 9th of March.
So we'll know early part of next week who has got the call. Actually, latter part of next week, we'll know who's got the call from Tim Jones in part of the European Juniors for the summer in Finland. On to the senior final then of the 200 meters backstroke. Lights down as the introductions are about to be made. And we'll start from the outside, lanes 8 to 1, and then 7-2, 6-3, and then the two fastest in lanes 4 and 5. Here is Chloe Golding of City of Manchester Aquatics. She will be going in lane number 8. We have 2 overseas swimmers in this race. Here's the first of the 2. Africa Zamorano of Spain will be in lane 1. From Plymouth Leander in 7 goes Laura Stevens. Youngest swimmer coming up next in lane number 2 is Lexi Waller. And of course, she is capable, potentially, of getting that time of 2:14.06, having posted a 2:14.48 this morning.
Definitely more than capable of doing it.
Catherine Greenslade of Edinburgh University. Next on to Paul Deck in lane number 6. Lisa Graf of Germany will go in 3. Bath swimmer Jessica Fullerlove will enter next from lane 5. And one of the darlings, one of the favourites of British swim fans over the years, is Lizzie Simmons, still going strong.
How many layers has she got on?
Well, it's cold outside. It's not cold in here, Lizzie. In fact, it's probably about as warm as it has been inside this building, but she's making sure that she's not going to freeze. I think she's still got the clothing that she came into the building with there, but she will be in lane 4. And we need to talk about the endurance of Lizzie. She's had a few knockbacks, a few setbacks along the way. She's been to several clubs and now has arrived at Edinburgh, but she's still going strong and still has the passion for swimming. Still has the passion for competitive swimming. Like
I always forget Lizzie's only 27. I keep thinking she's about 47 because she's been around for so long. She was so young when she first burst onto the scene.
I think it was either 13 or 14 that she was earmarked as one of our top juniors.
Yeah.
People said that she is, you know. And the only thing that she lacks, sadly, is an Olympic medal, because she finished 4th, didn't she, in London? Got that close to getting an Olympic medal in 2012. That could have set a lot of people back. It could have ended quite a few people's careers. Not her. And she just missed out on Rio as well, didn't she?
Yeah, Lizzie's had a lot of heartbreak and definitely an interesting career and one that probably has knocked her confidence quite a bit. But she looks really back on form now, and it was fantastic for her to make her 3rd Commonwealth Games. She picked up a silver medal back in Delhi, so it would be great for her to go to the Gold Coast. And it would be interesting because you mentioned this morning that Lizzie likes swimming on the lane rope. And obviously the Gold Coast, this is outdoors, and you said that traditionally, especially outdoors, Lizzie goes straight to the lane rope. But of course you're going to do. You've got nothing to follow on backstroke. Right. So, but hopefully she'll be back on that medal podium where she rightly deserves that spot.
Well, you'll recall there's a time when the Worlds and Europeans nearly exclusively were outdoors. When you went to Budapest, it was always outdoors.
Always, yeah. I loved the outdoor competitions. Rome was one of my favourite.
Yeah, there was Rome, there was Budapest. In fact, pretty much all the World Championships and European champs in those days were outdoors.
It's very hard for the backstrokers, though, especially when you go into those sorts of places and the sun is just blinding in your eyes. So no wonder Lizzie had to swim up the lane rope just to be able to see.
Well, she's right alongside the top German. That's Lisa Graf. There's only 15 100ths between them at the 100 split. And Lizzie won't be giving this one up easily. She's in lane 4. Graf is in lane number 3. And Lizzie is now moving through into the lead as they get to 15 meters to go on this leg. And look at that. Lizzie Simmons is powering her way through, and I don't think anybody at the moment, apart from potentially Lisa Graf, is going to get a chance to beat her. They're going to go into the wall totally together, and the gap is 7/100ths of a second.
I love Lizzie's technique. I mean, she's got such good skills, such good underwater, but she's always so still. Her head just doesn't move at all, and technically she is such a good swimmer, and she always manages to pull it out the bag, Lizzie. When she's on fitness and on form, when she's in good health, Lizzie is a good one to have on that team, as she's always good for morale. She's such a funny girl and lovely to be around, but also you know that she never ever loses out.
Lizzie Simmons going for broke. Lizzie Simmons going for a British title, and she gets it in a 2:10.26. Lisa Graf was closing in on her over those final few strokes, but she held on. A 2:10.26 for Lizzie Simmons. Lisa Graf in second place. Third going to Catherine Greenslade, and Jessica Fullerlove in fourth. Well done, Lizzie. Another national title.
Yeah, so pleased for Lizzie. There's still the 100 metres backstroke to come this weekend to see Lizzie back there in form. And for her, I'm just so pleased for her. I mean, it's great to see her back on teams, back smiling again, back enjoying the sport. You keep saying, well, why hasn't she retired? And you kind of kept questioning kind of why she wants to continue.
No, I didn't quite put it like that. I'm just asking what her motivation is to keep going.
I think she loves the sport. She doesn't want it to end through illness or injury, or because somebody told her she should because she's lost her funding. I think she's like, kind of, hold on, don't push me out the sport. I'm here, I love what I do, I'm a great ambassador for it. Why should I leave?
Absolutely right. No, I'm glad to see her around, to be honest. I'm always glad to see her around, Hannah Miney around, because it reminds me that I've been watching swimming for a very long time. Yeah, having seen Lizzie's career, having seen Hannah's career from start to finish pretty much as well. When they go and there's people I don't know, it makes me feel a lot older, if that's possible. On to the presentation for the women's 100 metres breaststroke. And it was won by a Spaniard, so the top Brit, who will be on top of the podium in a moment, will be Chloe Tutton. Siobhan Marie O'Connor, already having won the 200 metres individual medley, will be picking up a medal as well, as she's waiting in the wings on the silver medal podium. And it is Molly Renshaw. We were doing the count back earlier on, where we in Molly, even though I think she finished with a 6th or 7th in that, comes through and gets the medal for bronze. Siobhan Marie O'Connor with the medal around her neck for silver, and we will hear from our British winner after she has received her gold medal. Chloe Tutton of the City of Cardiff will have a few words for us. Let's hear what she has to say to John about her swim in the 100 breast today.
Congratulations, Chloe, British champion. You've got to be happy with that one.
Yeah, thanks. Really pleased.
I mean, breaststroke over the last few years has seen a big comeback for the women here in the UK. Why do you think that is?
There's a lot of us, so I guess we push each other on and get to race.
It's always nice to swim against talented swimmers like this. That last sort of, 50 going through your mind in the pool with these ladies, what's in your head?
I couldn't see anybody because I was in lane 2, but it was all right. I just knew I had to get to the wall as fast as I could.
And you did, so congratulations. Well done, British champion. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Chloe Tutton.
Yeah, well done, Chloe. Yeah, time of 68.02, which was, just under a second outside the timing set by Jessica Vowell, but she was the best of the Brits. Monica McSherry of Ireland finishing in 3rd place. Similar story in the men's 100 backstroke. It was won by a German this time, not a Spaniard. Jean-Philippe Glanier finished 1st, and Luke Greenbank will get the 2nd position. Christian Diener they were actually joint 3rd, same time, 55.42. It'll be Chris Walker-Hebben who will take the gold, Luke Greenbank who will take the silver, and Brodie Williams, the 19-year-old from Millfield, who just edged out Nick Pyle by 1/100th of a second for bronze.
Yeah, it was great to see Nicholas getting that European Junior qualifying time, though, even though he's not on that podium. Getting that European Junior qualifying time is what he came here to do.
Yeah, job done from his point of view. No medal to stick around his neck, but a trip to Finland in the summer. Probably trade that, wouldn't he? A medal at the Nationals for actually an overseas trip in the summer.
Definitely.
Yeah. There's too much of an argument about that, is there? And there's Luke Greenbank, who is the 2nd placed of the British swimmers. And there is Chris Walker-Hebben with a 55.26. Let's see what Chris has to say about his swim today.
Congratulations, Chris. On top of the podium, 50 yesterday, 100 today. Must be happy to have the gold.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you know, it's always tough coming here and racing in season, and obviously with some amazing young talent coming through the ranks, it's always a tough race.
It must be a sort of interesting, you know, a very experienced swimmer out there having these youngsters sniff at your heels. What's it feel like getting in the pool with them?
I mean, it's tough, you know, you're constantly looking over your shoulder, and I mean, like I said, some of these kids are amazing. You know, last night, Nick, I think 17, went 25.4, and that's pretty crazy at his age. So, you know, it keeps me on my toes, and just strive to keep getting better, I think.
Absolutely, it was a great race to watch. Look, congratulations, mate. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Chris Walker-Heaven.
Right, my event of the day coming up next. Men's 200 metres. You do some dead dancing of your own now, are you?
I was doing more body and arm dancing. You just move your hands, Bob.
Yeah.
At least I get my shoulders involved and my whole arm. You've got no response.
I haven't. I don't know what to say to that. Luckily, it's television, and we haven't got cameras on us, and nobody can see it. So that's very. You should consider yourselves very fortunate that that is the case. We don't want ComCam in here, quite frankly. For you, obviously, the glorious Rebecca, but you certainly don't want to see me in full Technicolor. On to the 200 metres breaststroke for the juniors, first of all. Then we'll have the B final, and then we will see the British champion. And for those who weren't with us this morning, the best name of all the male swimmers here will be in the final of the 200 breaststroke. We'll keep that in suspense until we actually get to the event.
You just want him to win just so you can say his name.
I think it's a brilliant name. He's got a fantastic name, and we'll tell you what that is when we get through the first two finals. We don't want to rush them because there's plenty of great British talent emerging through in this, as there has been over the years. When you think about the tradition of 200 breaststrokers in this country with David Wilkie and Adrian Morehouse, although Adrian was probably more associated with the 100, Nick Gillingham.
You're going right back.
Well, because we do go right back, and that's the great thing about it. You know, go back to those.
How old are you, Bob?
Oh, old enough, put it that way. Old enough to drink, put it that way. But yeah, going back to the Wilkie days of '76, and of course Nick Gillingham as well, and Duncan Goodhue, 1980.
I thought you were going to say more recent swimmers like Michael James.
Well, I can work my way through to that, but it just shows you the kind of catalogue of people that we've had over 42 or more years now, which is terrific. And hopefully we'll see some emerging stars of the future in this, the junior final. William Mitchell of Millfield is 16, Josh Pemberton of Dementio 18, James Bilbao of Ellesmere in 3, Harry Devlin, York City 4, Bradley Newman of City of Cardiff 5, Connor Bryan of City of Oxford in 6, Ben Harrison of Mount Kelly in 8, and Liam Davis of Plymouth Leander goes in lane number 8. And there is a clear leader as we come towards the 100-metre mark. And this is a very, very powerful performance from our swimmer in lane number 4, Harry Devlin.
He's very Adam Peaty-like with his stroke, isn't he?
Yeah, maybe he's been watching some tapes of Adam. You're right. It's a very similar stroke, and it's getting him to the same kind of level, although Connor Bevan got to the wall marginally before him by 2/100ths of a second, but we certainly have a race between these two.
It's interesting, though, because Adam obviously is so powerful over the 50 and 100, but then you look at people like Craig Benson, Ross Murdoch, people that do the 200, and I love watching Ross Murdoch race because he is so long, so smooth, and he's just kind of winds it up, and it's all about power and strength. It's not necessarily about speed, and you see there already that Harry is kind of struggling with that pace, and I'm not saying it's because of his stroke. He kind of obviously went out very, very hard, and the 200, I always think, it's always favoured if you can come back strong. That last 100 metres, I think, are absolutely crucial.
Well, we have a finish on our hands here. Bradley Newman, Connor Bryan, and Ben Harrison just out of the picture. But the 4, 5, and 6, it's going to be lane 6. Connor Bryan of City of Oxford now. The target time for him in terms of getting to the European Juniors in the summer is 2:15.28. Well, is he going to get close to that? He's going to win the race, that is for certain. It's got a bit of a gap opening up, but the 2:15 has come and it has gone. He'll win the race, however, in a 2:18.8. Second is Bradley Newman. Third place to James Bilbao, and Harry Devlin couldn't keep up that pace of the first 100.
No, but Connor's got to be pleased with that. This morning he'd swam a 2:22, so he's dropped 4 seconds from the heat to the final, so I'm pretty sure he'll be over the moon with that swim.
Talking about long glides and people who had a really great aesthetic stroke, I'd say Michael Jameson for me, actually, out of all our breaststrokers. Though Michael obviously couldn't get it done in 2014, he got the silver medal in London in 2012, and you know, it's a bit like going back a bit with Paul Palmer with the way he swam the front crawl. Paul had a brilliant stroke, which he in turn had obviously honed very well. Michael's stroke was just a thing to behold.
No, he was, and MJ just used to be hypnotised when you used to watch him swim, I think, with Michael, that he was just such a strong, powerful athlete as well. And most of the breaststrokers are. They kind of have like this 1% body fat, don't they? They're absolutely ripped, and yeah, they're not small guys, to say the least.
On to the B final then of the 200 meters breaststroke. I'll come around to full deck, so I'll give you the run through of the swimmers we'll see. Greg Butler of City of Derby goes in 1. Tom Dean, another junior from Maidenhead, in 2. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 juniors, all trying to aim for that 2:15.28. In 3, David Murphy was not a junior, City of Oxford, 20 years of age, as is Edward Baxter of Loughborough in lane 4. Then Callum Smart of City of Oxford, junior. 5, Oliver Crosby, City of Sheffield in 6. Nathan Hughes, who we were talking about in the 1500 yesterday.
I still can't believe this. I honestly cannot believe somebody that is a 1500 freestyler and does 200 breaststroke. I can't work them out.
There he is. And let's see how he does. 2:19.62 this morning was his time. And Jacob Greenoff of Bath University will go in lane number 8. So the B final of the men's 200 meters breaststroke. We have the women's 50 meters freestyle next, and the men's 50 meter butterfly after that. And at the almost back end of the program, the women's 800 meters freestyle.
Don't miss out the skins, Bob.
Well, I'm finding it very hard to remember who the European record holder and the Commonwealth record holder is in the 800 free, but I'm sure you'll tell me at some point. 200 breaststroke for men.
Why do they do that on the start? Why do they go, huh? It's only the men. They go, huh. It's like, what is that?
You never tried that then?
No.
Okay. Well, it's a bit like asking the tennis players why they grunt, isn't it?
Well, I think that's the power and the force of hitting the racket, whereas then they're only leaving a block. They don't need to go, huh, off the block. Well, in my opinion, they don't.
Okay. 200 breaststroke for men is the B final. And in the centre, in lane number 3, is David Murphy with a 30.33 split. Second place to Greg Butler, and third is Callum Smart of Oxford. Whatever gets you through the race, and in this case, it looks like lane 3 is having the best of the early exchanges. But as you mentioned, the 200 breaststroke is a race where, again, you need to time it. You need to try and perfect your splits here, because that 50 can be quite agonising if you get it wrong.
I think a lot of tactics come into play with the 200 metres breaststroke, probably more than some of the other events. It's all about kind of not going too soon, not tiring out. And you tend to see that at the major championships. It's whoever's got the best back-end speed rather than front-end speed over the 200 metres. You can't just hold on.
David Murphy, 64.43 at the turn, 105.76 to Greg Butler, and Edward Baxter is in third place. Now, this is front-running very much of the highest order from David Murphy of the City of Oxford. He's going to try and bring this home from the front, but you can see that the rest are starting to congregate around him. If he looks right, he'll see somebody there. If he looks left, he'll see quite a few coming into his slipstream.
Hope he doesn't look round.
Well, off the turn, he'll see them, won't he, as he looks around. And it is David Murphy from Edward Baxter and Tom Dean with 50 to go. Lane 3, can he keep this going? David Murphy is trying to do it. The City of Oxford swimmer. This is a very, very brave way to swim it. Is Edward Baxter going to catch him on the other side? 15 metres to go. Still just David Murphy from Edward Baxter. Finishing quite strongly is Callum Smart as well, but Murphy, has he got it to the wall? He has. What kind of time has he got? 2:15.88 it is for David Murphy. Second place to Edward Baxter. That was swimming it in a very brave style indeed. And Tom Dean with a 2:17 for the swimmer in third place.
Yeah, just shy of that 2:15 qualifying time there for Tom, but we have got one junior going in the final. Kyle Booth is going to go in lane 1 for Cardiff, so he could possibly still have a chance at getting that European junior qualification in the next final.
Excellent swim, though, from David Murphy, City of Oxford, to bring it all the way home from the start. 50, 100, 150, leading at those stages. And even though he might be closed down, he wasn't, and got to the wall first to win the B final for the City of Oxford. Right, coming next, we'll see another of our Olympians. We'll see the Commonwealth Games gold medalist from Glasgow 2014 and the British record holder, Ross Murdoch.
And we'll see your favourite name.
Yeah, well, we'll see it when he comes on pool deck. I'll give you the full range. In fact, so long is his name, it doesn't even fit on our graphics properly. It spills out into the next bit, but yeah, it's not one that you can actually truncate. So I'll give it to you when he comes on pool deck. All but two of the swimmers in this final are from Great Britain. There is one from Ireland and one from Germany. Adam Chillingworth is 21-year-old from Plymouth Leander, going in lane 8. 17-year-old Kyle Booth will swim for the City of Cardiff in lane number 1. Man who knows this pool very well because he trains here is Callum Tate of Edinburgh, 24 years of age. Now, the first of our overseas swimmers, Dara Green of Ireland, will be the swimmer in lane number 2. Yes, we haven't got to him yet. Be patient. The man with a great name coming soon, Maximilian Pilger. It's not him.
That is a great name, though.
It's not bad, but it doesn't beat our best name. He goes in lane 6.
Your best name.
And then here goes a man I don't recognise. Ross Murdoch, with a beard that he has managed to get going since the beginning of 2018. James Wilby is next in lane 5. So here we go, fastest this morning. Look at this for a name. Tobermory Mackay Champion. It's terrific. It is a fantastic name.
Why do you find that so good?
Well, because first of all, it reminds me of the Wombles, because that's his first name.
I don't know that.
Oh, yes, you do.
I really don't.
And then Mackay Champion as the second one. Did you never do the Wombles?
No.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. Anyway, he is in lane 4, representing the City of Oxford. And they have, of course, the winner of the previous race, David Murphy. But if he was to beat Ross Murdoch, it would be a big surprise. I know Murdoch is getting himself prepared for the Gold Coast in 4 weeks' time, so he's probably not right on it. But it will be a huge upset if the man in lane 4 beats the man in lane 3.
Yeah, Ross is obviously still got a lot of his preparations to go, and to fair to Ross, he's from a very tactical race this morning. He went out kind of a lot slower than the rest of the field this morning and just came back really, really strong. So we'll see if he does the same tactics tonight.
So on the breaststroke, men's final with the British champion. 2:07.03. Don't expect him to do anything like that today. Ross Murdoch going in 3. James Wilby will be another person who will be in the mix for Loughborough University in 5. And Tobermory Mackay, champion of the City of Oxford, did 2:14.28 this morning.
Just look at how long Ross's stroke is. It's almost like he's gliding. You just don't think, how can that be so fast?
If Ross has had a problem in the last few years, sometimes it is self-belief, because he certainly didn't have that at the Commonwealth Games of 2014, but when it came to the Olympics last year, maybe he did.
Yeah, I think for a lot of athletes, they struggle with that confidence and that kind of doubt. And we've seen Ross making teams for that 100 metres and kind of progressing on that. And it's nice to see him getting back to his favoured event, which is the 200 metres, and just enjoying racing again. I think sometimes you kind of lose that love for racing, but Ross has definitely got back there.
James Wilby, though, is the one who's really making the early strides here over the first 100, and Wilby will get to the wall at the halfway stage in the lead. Let's see how he stops the clock. 1:04.34. Tobermory Mackay champion in second place. Ross Murdoch back in 5th with some work to do.
I think we'll start to see Ross come through here. I mean, I don't know whether he'll have enough in his tank to win this, but at the same time, you'll definitely see him start to move through.
But James Wilby is the man who has been leading this race for quite some time now, and Ross is quite a way back in lane 3. If he's going to overhaul him, he's got a bit to do in the last 50.
He definitely has. James looks really, really good, really, really strong. James trains with Dave Hemmings, who obviously coaches Molly Renshaw, but even in Loughborough, you've got so many of the breaststroke guys. It's almost becoming a breaststroke centre, is Loughborough.
What a turn, though, from Ross Murdoch over that last 50. He made up at least 2 or 3 metres on James Wilby, but he's still got a lot to do, and he's just gone past Tobamori and Mackay champion. With his eyes now set on trying to overhaul James Wilby. But I think Wilby's got this. I don't see there's any way that our British champion and British record holder is going to get there, because this is all about James Wilby of Loughborough, and he will get to the wall first. Murdoch will come in second, and a 2:12.02 for Wilby. Second to Ross Murdoch, and Tobamori in third place. And as far as our top junior is concerned, Carl Booth there with a 2:18, which is not going to get him at the moment on the plane to Finland.
No, I mean, that wasn't massively quick, even from Ross, 2:14, to say that he's been 2:07, 7 seconds off his personal best time. But this is the last chance these guys are racing before the Commonwealth Games. So it's just more about tactics than it is time this time of year. And there's a lot more to come in the tank. And give them 5 weeks and they'll be on top form. But who knows, we'll see James and Ross on that podium at the Gold Coast.
And that is a meet record for the Edinburgh International event. Fastest time that's ever been in this event. There you go. The 2:12.02, and he did win that by over 2 seconds from Ross Murdoch, who I don't think will be overly concerned, because his main focus is on what's happening in 4 weeks' time, or just over 4 weeks' time, on the Gold Coast. Right, last of the sprints before we get to the big event, the 800 freestyle, and it will be the women's 50 meters freestyle. And for those who weren't with us yesterday, time for Rebecca Adlington to tell us what's going to happen off the back of these races.
Yeah, the skins. Well, the juniors don't do the skins. This will be the straight final, and then we'll see the men's go in the junior final. And then when it comes to the open final, they will swim their open final, but as the first round of the skins. And then 2 people get knocked out, then 2 people again, then another one, and another one, until there's 2 left going head-to-head. So it's basically 650s tolerance set.
Right. You did it brilliantly last night. You've done it brilliantly again tonight. Well done. Let's see if it unfolds that way, though. That's what we told. That's what we told you would happen. Let's see what will happen tonight.
To be fair, we haven't seen skins for about 15 years.
No.
So you've got to forgive us.
Yeah. And also, I think some of the people involved in it, yes, they hadn't seen them for a while either. But we are ready for the women's 50 meters freestyle junior. Just checking that the timing's working. So they've obviously had to switch it to the other end of the pool. And sometimes there can be a little glitch or a little problem when they do that, because timing blocks change to the other end.
Obviously, with it being the 50 metres freestyle, these girls have got the opportunity to make a European Junior qualifying time, which is 25.91. They swam to 26s this morning, so we'll see if anyone can dip under that 26 mark and get that European Junior qualifying time.
Right. As we wait, the referee's got whistle in his mouth, so I think we're ready to go. Macy Lawrence are Basel in 1, Sophie Yendel in 2. There you go. There's a referee to say, calling them to their blocks. Emily Hames of Mount Kelly in 3. Emily Peck of Preston in 4. Jasmine McCree of Poole in 5. Laura McNabb of Team Bath in 6. Britta Cohurst of the Netherlands in 7. And Anaconda's Eleanor Dewhurst is in lane 8. So let's see, there's the splash and dash of the 50 freestyle. Fran Halsall with the British record of 23.96. Let's see which of these youngsters can come through the best. Well, lanes 6 and 5 are at the forefront. Laura McNabb and Jasmine McCrae, they'll come in together. Is it going to be 5? Is it going to be 6? It is 5. Jasmine McCrae in a 26.04. Laura McNabb 26.25. And third place going to Emily Hames with a 26.7.
Yeah, just shy of that qualifying time, but that was a great swim. And definitely a big improvement from this morning as well.
And some of the future stars looking to obviously now replace the likes of Amy Smith, who's retired, and Fran, who's retired. We're looking for, you know, the next generation of female sprinters. We've had some good ones over the years. Alison Shepherd, who I was mentioning in commentary early on today, was one of our Olympic finalists from 2000 in Sydney.
Yeah, we've always had a good history, and we've got Freya Anderson, the 17-year-old, coming through as well, who didn't choose to swim it this morning, but will be going to the Commonwealth Games, and she's great potential for the future. Bob, I've just got a text from my mum that said, "Tell Bob, how old does he think your mum is? George Formby, indeed."
No, your mum's younger than me, I think, actually. So, but she'll have heard of him. She knows who he is. That's the point. 50 meters freestyle for the women. Senior final coming up next. And this will contain the likes of, in fact, we're going to introduce the men and the women here because of the skin. So it'll be the women first, I think.
No, this is just the junior 50 meters.
Oh, right, okay. So I'm getting ahead of myself here.
You're just so excited for the skins.
I can't wait. I can't wait. 50 meters butterfly for men. Ben Hooper of Hillingdon, Sam Daly of Mount Kelly, Santos Villalon of Millfield, Federico Badiso of Mount Kelly. He's got in 4. Lewis Burris of Southport in 5. Jolano Na of the Netherlands in 6. Thomas Carswell of Tadcaster in 7. And Lewis Kerrod of the City of Leicester in lane number 8. Junior final for the men. And we'll see how this one works out. Ben Proud, who's back in Turkey, preparing himself for the Commonwealth Games with that World Championship British record of 22.75 last year when he had that terrific swim. Having a pretty decent swim here in lane number 5 is Lewis Burris of Southport, 25.14 it was in the morning. Is he going to get to the wall first? He does in 24.77 with Federico Badiso of Mount Kelly in 2nd place and Sam Daly in 3rd. So 24.77 is the time for our winner.
Lewis is having a fantastic meet so far. We saw him last night getting the British title for that 100 meters freestyle, and back tonight, backing that up with winning the junior time. Be interesting to see what Lewis does over the 50 meters freestyle, which obviously we've got to come this weekend after that 100 meters, and obviously that was a great performance. So hopefully he could be the next Ben Proud.
Yeah, well, he's gone down from the heat to a 25.14 down to 24.77.
Now.
Skins. It is now. This is where it all begins. So what they will do is they will introduce the women and the men together because they'll alternate on this event.
They only have 90 seconds. Oh no, there's a medal ceremony first.
Oh,
so we have time. We have time.
Getting ahead of ourselves here.
Why are they called skins? Why skins? Do you know?
I do not know, because people still wear a cosy, don't they? They don't actually,
it's not like they strip
they don't go naked. They don't go naked.
Can you imagine? Well, Lizzie had enough layers on earlier, so Lizzie could do this.
Well, the Michelin woman coming out there, isn't she? 200 backstroke for women. We're going to get the medal ceremony, and that, of course, is Lizzie Simmons' event, which she won in a time of 2:10.26. Catherine Greenslade and Jessica Fullerlove will get to the other medals as we wait for the lights to dim.
Please welcome the medalists for the women's 200 meters backstroke.
Here they come. Well, Lizzie winning another national title with a 2:10.26. Jessica Fullerlove moving into the bronze medal position, and silver going to Catherine Greenslade. In the end, in terms of the gap between the Brits, it was actually 1.4 seconds between Lizzie and Catherine Greenslade. So,
well, all these 3 girls are going to the Commonwealth Games, so we might see them on the podium in some fashion in 5 weeks' time. But it's great for Jess. I mean, Jess is one of those people that she went to Glasgow and she's kind of always been there or thereabouts, but she's moved down to Bath, and I think it's really, really working for her.
And from this very pool, Edinburgh University's Catherine Greenslade with a 2:11.67. Fast improvement on the heat to a 2:14.29. But here she is yet again as a national champion, and still with that big, broad, beaming smile. 27 years of age now, Lizzie Simmons with a 2:10.26. And I'm sure she'll have quite a few words to say about her latest triumph at the latest British Championships.
Lizzie, I don't get one of those. Look, congratulations, British champion. You're based in this pool. Must be nice to have a win here.
Yeah, although it's a little bit colder than usual here. Yeah, no, it's really good to get the win tonight. It was a good, solid swim for me. Good race and good prep for Commonwealth Games.
Absolutely. And speaking of, you know, we've had some international athletes in the pool with you as well. Has that been a great experience having them a part of this?
Yeah, definitely. It's been a really interesting British champs for us. Obviously, most of us aren't rested here. We've got some of the foreign athletes come in, mix things up a little bit, show what they can do ahead of the Europeans later in the year. So good races, good race prep.
Absolutely. Keep you on your toes. You've still got the 100 to go this weekend. What are you focusing on heading into that?
Again, just another good solid race would be great for me, and then look into kind of another couple of weeks of training and then resting up for the Commonwealth Games. So just race processes tomorrow and putting things together last minute.
Get ready for the big one. Look, congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for Elizabeth Simmons.
Well done, Lizzie. Another triumph for her at the national. I mean, I don't know how many medals she would have accumulated over the years, but what did you have, a sock drawer? Did you put? Where did you put all your medals? Because you
I used to leave them at my mum and dad.
Is that what they are now?
Yeah,
you get a special room?
The house. Yeah, I do.
Right, on to the presentation for the men's 200 meters breaststroke, and this actually turned out to be a bit of a surprise. Not downplaying James Wilby at all, because he's a very, very good swimmer. But Ross Murdoch not quite in the form he'll want to be in when he gets to the Gold Coast in a few weeks' time. That beard is obviously coming off. And here he is, my name of the week. Tobermory Mackay champion is a bronze medalist with a 2:15.18. Actually went slower than he did in the heats. 2:14 in the morning, 2:15 in the evening, so that's not quite what he would have wanted. There's Ross Murdoch of the University of Stirling swim team, but usurped on this occasion, and that will be a notable scalp for the 25-year-old from Loughborough University, who can't wait until that smile creeps across his face. James Wilby with a 2:12. He won that by a big distance, 2.2 seconds. Here he is talking to John.
Congratulations, James. An amazing race for you, that one. You must be over the moon to have the gold.
Yeah, pretty happy with how this season's going so far, this cycle, should I say, going up towards Commonwealths. Yeah, a couple of surprise swims, so looking forward to it.
I mean, you came out really strong in that one. You were out in front from the beginning. Was that your strategy heading into the race?
Just practicing a few little things, like when it comes to Gold Coast, you know, I'm going to be wanting to get out fast if I wanted to go some reasonable times that are hopefully going to medal. So, yeah, just practicing a few little things like that.
I mean, you're based at Loughborough University. It's now a centre for excellence when it comes to sort of swimming. Are you happy being there and with everything that's going on? I mean, it's obviously working for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a learning experience. I've had some ups and have some real big downs, but yeah, no, the setup there is just incredible. Got so many people there helping us, and yeah, it's really, really fortunate to be there.
Absolutely, always important to have a good team around you. Congratulations, mate. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for James Wilby.
Are you ready? Here we go. Event number 307. Women's 50 meters freestyle, senior event. And these swimmers will not get to swim just once. Potentially get to swim 5 times?
6? Let's have a look.
I think it's 5. They get the regulation one.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
So this first one does count as the British champion. This is the final. This doesn't take away from anything. So this will, no matter who wins the skins at the end, this will be the one that they get prize money from. This will be the British champion, 1, 2, and 3. But then 2 people will be eliminated, the slowest 2, after this round. And then they'll have 90 seconds before they have to swim this 50 meters freestyle once again.
Right, so we'll introduce all the women and all the men together because they'll alternate in terms of the races. So obviously 2 different strokes as well, not the same event. 50 freestyle for women, followed by the 50 butterfly for men. So the lineup for the women: Madeline Moore of Plymouth, Katie Latham of Thanet, Katie Stark of Edinburgh, Lina Munoz of Spain, Lucy Hope again, back in the pool from Edinburgh University in lane number 5, Anna Detterley of Germany in 6, Imana de Jong of the Netherlands in 7, and Johanna Roas of Germany from SG Stat in lane number 8. So those are the women. Here come the men for the 15 meters butterfly, and this is how they will line up from 1 to 8 order. Sam Horrocks of the City of Manchester Aquatics, Daniel Savage of Northampton, Alberto Lozano of St Andrew, James Guy of Bath University in lane 4. Jacob Peters of Poole in 5. Eric Frieser of Germany in 6. Lewis Fraser of Swansea Aquatics will go in 7. There's James Guy just giving everybody a wave. And to round off the 8 for the men's 50 butterfly and the skins event to follow, it will be Cameron Brooks Clark of the city of Sheffield. So women, men, and with a very quick turnaround time.
Yes. They'll stick in their lanes as well until the very last one, where there is only 2 swimmers left, where they'll come together and go head to head and be crowned champion of the skins.
50 minutes freestyle then. First up, fastest in the morning was Leiden Munoz of Spain, fastest of the Brits, and what a week she is having, what a couple of days she's had. Anyway, Lucy Hope going in lane number 5.
Lucy had a great day yesterday, and she was great over those skins last night on the 50 metres backstroke as well, so hopefully she can back that up tonight.
Let's see who wins the fastest race in the programme, the 50 metres freestyle. See who's the fastest in Britain in this event, and indeed fastest in Europe as far as this event's concerned. We have a Spaniard and 2 Germans involved in the mix. Now, reaction times are often very important in the 50. So who gets away the quickest? Well, Anna Ditterly of Germany and Leiden Munoz, the 2 overseas swimmers, get away first. Lane 4, Leiden Munoz, looking at her, looking at 5. Lucy Hope is coming back into it. So is Anna Ditterly of Germany, leading as far as the Brits are concerned. Looks like Lucy Hope's going to get there first. She's joined second with Anna Ditterly, and the winner comes from Spain, Leiden Munoz. So again, the British champion is Lucy Hope.
Fantastic swim from her. So now the 2 eliminated are lanes 7 and 8, so they don't progress to the next round of the skins.
25.69, so we will lose Imana, and we'll lose Johanna. So 7 and 8 go. From the skins, we are left with lanes 1 to 6, which is nice from our point of view. There's no gaps there, it's all the way through.
Yeah. Last night did get a tiny little bit confusing, but Lucy will be so over the moon with that, obviously backing up that race that she did last night and being crowned British champion once again. Right,
we turn our attention now to the men's 50 metres butterfly. Sam Horrocks, Manchester, Daniel Savage of Northampton, St Andrews, Alberto Lozano, James Guy. Well, you've already seen him in the 400 free tonight. There he goes in the 50 butterfly. Jacob Peters, who we're fancying a scalp here in lane number 5. Eric Frieser of Germany, Lewis Fraser of Swansea, and Cameron Brooks Clark of City of Sheffield. Did seem that James Guy was holding a little bit back earlier on, just maybe saving something for this. He is in lane number 4, and can anybody catch James Guy of Bath University in 4? Well, they are trying to. The outside lane's working very hard. Cameron Brooks Clark, so is Jacob Peters as well. But James Guy is at the front of the field and will be holding on to the wall. James Guy gets it in 24.24. James Guy wins the 50 butterfly. Second is Cameron Brooks Clark, and third Alberto Lorenzo. So we lose Sam Horrocks and Cameron. Sorry, we lose.
Now there's 3 joint.
Very interesting. We have tied 3 in 6. So what do they do now?
No idea.
Toss a coin.
Swim off, swim off.
Oh no, they'd love that. We'd to put an extra swim. But yeah, we have tied 6. No. Nobody eliminated, so they'll all get to do the skins.
Oh.
Okay.
Interesting.
So nobody actually gets eliminated from that event. We'll have all 8 going for skins.
So all 8 going to the next round. So we're going to have to lose more than 2 for the next round, surely.
Yeah, you would. Well, no.
Unless we go 2-2-2.
We'll find out. Maybe go 2-2-1-1 one way through.
We don't know.
This is more straightforward. The women's, there had to be a complication of some description, didn't there? But this one's more straightforward. Basically, we have 6 remaining. We got rid of 2. We got rid of the Dutch swimmer and one of the German swimmers. So now we have 6. Now remember, they don't have a proper start. They get an indicator. And look at the reaction time from lane 1, 1.14 seconds.
So they get a beep, and then they get 10 seconds, and then they just get a beep to go. So there's no take your marks, there's no whistle, there's no anything like that. So it is all about reaction times on this.
Right, and you can see that the swimmer in lane 1, Madeline Moore, wants nothing to do with this
well,
at
she's
all.
Out.
So she's gone, and looks like lane 2... may be joining her.
Lane 6.
Lane 6, Anna Ditterly is gone. And Madeline Moore saying, I've had enough of this, thank you very much indeed, time to go. So we lose lanes 1 and 6. So we still have the centre 4. Now we're going to lose 4 men from the skins. 4 are going to go here.
Wow. This is going to be close. What if they're all equal again?
Well, then they'll have to work it all out again, won't they? But yeah, 4 are going to go in the next round of the skins. We still have 8 in place, remember, from that final, won by James Guy. So Sam Horrocks, Daniel Savage, Alberto Lozano, James Guy, Jacob Peters, Eric Freezer, Lewis Fraser, Cameron Brooks-Clark all in now. Now watch, see if these reaction times come up again, because they're just not ready for this.
No, they kind of get the first buzz, don't they? And I don't think they kind of realise maybe if they counted to 10. So there's the first whistle.
Right, so now we're counting down. Now let's see. Now James Guy sometimes likes to hang around a bit here. He won't have a time because it's going to go.
Oh,
right,
he
so
was a bit slower there.
4 going. Let's see if we get the reaction times on that. And in fact, nothing has come up on the board, so we'll just keep our eyes on what's happening in the pool. And James Guy, even though he might have been slowest away, is actually at the front of the field. James Guy is probably going to win this one as well. Jacob Peters is going to follow him into the wall, and this is going to be very tight. We're going to lose 2. We weren't that
No, we're going to lose 4.
Yeah, we're going to lose 2 definitely from the back, which is lane 6 and 7, and 5 and 6 is Alberto Lorenzo and Eric Freezer. So, and Cameron Brooks-Clark, no, hang on, Daniel Savage has gone as well.
Sam Horrocks has gone.
Sam Horrocks, yeah. Sam Horrocks.
Alberto and Eric are all gone.
Yeah, so that's our 4. So Savage has gone, Horrocks has gone, Freezer has gone, and Alberto Lozano has gone. That's your 4. So we still remain with James Guy, Jacob Peters, Lewis Fraser and Cameron Brooks-Clark. Am I correct?
Solid 4.
Okay, so we have 4 there. We've lost 4 from the women. So we only have 4 remaining here. Katie Latham, Katie Stark. We're getting better on this tonight, aren't we?
We are.
Lyden Munoz and Lucy Hope. Don't get too cocky, though.
So only 1 goes this round.
Only 1 goes, and we'll reduce it to 3.
Oh, good. Better reactions this time.
Yeah, that was much, much better. Nobody was over a second this time. And hopefully all 4 really want to do it. But there's a big job for Katie Stark to do. I think at the moment, it looks like she's going to go. She's trying desperately to catch up with Lucy Hope. Lucy Hope's not going to win this one for a change, but it's going to be...
Yeah, the Spanish girl looks really strong here.
Yeah,
she had a better start as well.
Lyden Munoz will come in first, so going this time, it is going to be Katie Stark in 4th place, so bye-bye, Katie. And then there were 3. That's a bit harsh.
We're actually making sense of this tonight, Bob. We're following it.
We are. Even though it's not been the easiest one to follow so far, but lane 3 goes, and Katie Stark, so we're left with just 3, and happen to be in lanes 4, 5 and 6, fortunately. So that's all good.
Now, there's quite a lot of men behind the block here.
But is there too many? Should be 4.
Yeah, there's 5.
Oh, okay.
I think they're confused, so they're waiting.
I thought it was all going too well, because I was told there's only 4 now, but...
Okay.
Let's see how many.
Oh, no, he knows he's been gone because the scoreboard's clarified.
All right.
Oh, okay, he's picking up his stuff.
Right, so this is the 4. And they seem to move their lanes again.
They haven't, so lane 1.
No, he's not in lane 1.
Lewis is.
No, he's in lane 7.
Oh, why have they done that?
Anyway, Lewis Fraser's now moved from lane 7 to lane 1. James Guy remains in 4, Jacob Peters remains in 5, and Cameron Brooks-Clark remains in 8. So I've no idea why they've moved Lewis Fraser into 1, but there you go. So he's out there. The centre 2 lanes are the ones who are competing. It's Guy against Peters, as we suspected it might be. And Peters might get the better of James Guy this time, and is going to, I think, yes. 25-3-3, not that really matters. James Guy in 2nd, Cameron Brooks-Clark in 3rd, and we lose...
We lose Lewis.
Yeah, we lose Lewis.
But Lewis, you shouldn't have moved lanes.
No, he should have been in lane 7, but there you go. Okay, so Lewis is out. And we are down to our last 3, which is James Guy, Jacob Peters, Cameron Brooks-Clark.
Okay.
I think I've aged 10 years since we started this. On to round 4 of the women's skins. So there should be 3, and there is 3. Katie Latham stayed where she is. Lyde Munoz has stayed where she is. Lucy Hope is still in lane 5.
This is penultimate round.
Yeah.
1 goes on this one, and then we're left with the final.
We are. So Lucy Hope, who won it yesterday, of course, has got a chance to make the final again. Lyde Munoz is looking very, very strong. So it's probably Katie Latham who Lucy Hope has to see off. Reaction times here, they're better now. I think they've got the hang of this because it were up over a second in some cases. Well, Lucy Hope is, actually Lucy Hope may not make this at all because Katie Latham's been a bit sneaky perhaps here by saving a little bit back for this. And Lucy Hope and her are in a right old scrap. Lyde Munoz looks to have this secured. And I think we may well be losing Lucy Hope here. It's massively tight between the two Brits. Yeah, Lucy Hope is gone in 3rd place. So it's going to be Lyde Munoz against Katie Latham. Yeah, she was our winner yesterday, was Lucy Hope, but not today. So it will be a final between Lyde Munoz and Katie Latham coming up after we've seen the next episode of the men's event of the butterfly, of course. They're doing the butterfly, the women are doing the freestyle.
I think I'd rather do the freestyle.
So James Guy remains, Jacob Peters remains, Cameron Brooks Clark remains, and this time round they're all in their proper lanes. 4, 5 and 8. I have absolutely no idea why Lewis Fraser moved into 1. Unless there was something wrong with the start, or something wrong with the starting block maybe.
We saw James last time doing a bit of Chad Leclos, looking around, wanting to save a little bit of something, so... But Jacob got the better of him.
Yeah, James won the real race, if you like, at the beginning, but Jacob Peters won the last one. And now they go.
Yeah, there's no medal for this. It's not like they get a podium spot, they just get prize money.
This is going to be a much tighter affair. James Guy doesn't want to get headed again. And I tell you what, Cameron Brooks Clark wants to get in the mix as well. This 2nd place is going to be very tight indeed. In fact, 1, 2 and 3 are going to be massively tight in here. James Guy coming through to win it. 2nd place, however, much, much tighter. It's going to be just, I think, Jacob Peters. Yes, it is, by 14/100ths of a second. So James Guy and Jacob Peters will go head-to-head in the final.
That was actually a really quick time from James. Not far off what he did in the first one.
So we are left with 2 in the women. We are left with 2 in the men. Katie Latham up against Lyde Munoz. And of course, the 2 swimmers in the men won't need to change lanes. They can stay where they are. Because they're in 4 and 5, and that's where they need to be for the final skins.
I think the Spanish girl has won every single round, hasn't she?
Yeah, she looks good. And Katie Latham will move in from lane 2 to lane 5. And Lyde Munoz will stay in lane 4, where she's been right the way through. So the introduction now, again, same principle applies. They'll get a whistle, but they won't actually know when they're going to go properly until they hear a little bleep. And it's going to go now, and off they go. And the reaction time's very good actually, for this one. 0.68 and 0.71.
The lactic acid going through you right now. You've got to be feeling the burn.
Lyde Munoz looks like she's got this one pretty much sorted up against the Brit. Unless she can come back over the final few meters, but it looks unlikely, and it looks like the 22-year-old from Spain is our winner in the skins of the 50 meters. Freestyle 26.91. Katie Latham coming in 2nd place. The best of the Brits. So well done to Lyde Munoz. Now we're going to have an all-British affair in the 50 meters butterfly skins final.
Yeah, Jacob Peters, the junior versus the senior, I guess.
18 years of age from Paul against 23 years of age from Bath University. It's been quite tight between these two at times in the skins. They're ready to go. Closest to us is James Guy on the right-hand side of your picture. On the left, Jacob Peters of Paul. 5 years separate them. Is there a bit of eyeballing going on there?
I think they're just so out of breath and tired.
It's like a prize fight, isn't it, the way they're standing there? Seconds out, round 3. In this case, seconds out round 5 for these two. Reaction times might tell us quite a bit.
Oh, James had a great start there.
Yeah, he was a tenth of a second quicker, 0.68 to Jacob Peters, 0.78. Jacob Peters on the far side, trying to keep tabs with James Guy. Not normally known for a 50, and this is going to be quite a tight little affair because Jacob Peters is not giving up. James Guy would seem to have this pretty much under control. Coming the last few meters, he's going to beat him by about half a body length, and it is James Guy at 25.22. Wonder how much he enjoyed that. 25.70 for Jacob Peters. So some more for the James Guy bank balance.
I was going to say, that's prize money right there. Treat him to a nice meal tonight.
Is he taking you out?
No, well, not us. To him.
Nice idea, though.
Yeah, James, you've just done 650s butterfly. Now take me and Bob out for dinner.
Well, we had to commentate on it. We had to do the hard work, did we?
It was a lot easier tonight.
Anyway, there you go. So your winner in the women's was Lyda Munoz, and your winner in the men's was James Guy. Whew. I broke out into a cold sweat last night. I feel better now. I think we might have that nailed.
Yeah, we've mastered that one.
Uh-huh. Right, the 800 meters freestyle is the last we have. It's the fastest heat. Of course, the swimmers did not have to qualify. Of course, the last of the individual events before the relay, but these swimmers did not have to qualify this morning, so they've gone straight in on their entry times.
Yeah, it's always nice when it's heat declared winner, especially for the distance events. You definitely don't want to be swimming heat and final of the 800 over a 4-day meet, especially.
So the full lineup as they come on to pool deck: Phoebe Griffiths, you've seen from Ellesmere, Maisie McCartney of Thanet, Laura van Engelen of the Netherlands, Leah Crisp, the junior from City of Leeds. So we'll look at that 800 free time for the juniors. So we have two of them in the field. No, yes, we have two of them in the field, and it is 8:48.17.
More than capable of doing it.
Yeah, we'll see. Leah's actually did it. Her entry time is 8:47, so...
Fingers crossed then.
Holly Hibbert for Stockport Metro, just come out of the junior ranks now at 19. Jimena Perez of Spain in 6th, and the Mireia Belmonte back again. So, as we've seen from all her events here, you don't want to have her within about 2 or 3 meters of yourself with 50 to go.
No, Belmonte's kind of so experienced at this that I think she won't want to obviously give too much. She's not rested for this. This isn't kind of go hell for leather at the start, but at the same time, I can't see past Belmonte not getting that title here.
So here we go, 800 meters freestyle. And in case you have forgotten who the European record holder and the Commonwealth record holder is, it is a certain Rebecca Adlington, set in Beijing in 2008.
Needs to be broken, though, doesn't it? Come on.
Well, I think you did something quite monumental. First time anybody, Britain had won 2 swimming gold medals since 1908.
Knowledge, Bob.
There you go. White City.
Yeah, I thought Jazz was going to break it a couple of years ago. But yeah, it's definitely time that record went.
Well, let's see. Probably nobody in this field is able to do that. Jazz may knock on the door of it possibly at the Commonwealth Games.
Let's hope so.
If she does that, she'll probably win the gold. Almost certainly she will. There's not too many have been faster than 8:14, but there's only one been faster than 8:14, only Katie.
Just Katie, yeah.
Exactly. So you're still second fastest of all time.
I'll take it.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
Absolutely, I would if I were you. So Holly Hibbert leads at 50. Obviously, a long way still to go in the 800. So maybe worth a quick recap for you in case you missed the introductions. Maisie McCartney of Thanet in 1, Leah Crisp in 2, City of Leeds, Camilla Hattersley of City of Glasgow in 3, Maria Belmonte of Spain, multi-Olympic and world and European medalist from Spain, Holly Hibbert, Stockport Metro in 5, Jimena Perez of Spain 6, Laura van Engelen of the Netherlands in 7, and Phoebe Griffiths of Ellesmere in lane number 8. And we still, by the way, have the mixed 4x1 medley relay, as it's called here, the 400-meter medley relay. We haven't got American here, have we? The 4x1 meters medley relay. So really stroking out for this in lane number 5, Holly Hibbert. Holly Hibbert is obviously no respecter of people's experience and what people have done, she thinks she can break the back of Maria Belmonte here.
Yeah, well, Holly burst onto the scene last year at the World Championships. She made the final, so credit to her. She's a world finalist from last year. Her first Commonwealth Games this year. Holly has swum a good 400. We saw her in the 200 metres last night, but she has posted really good 400 metre times as well. And Holly's one of those, she's a real hard worker. She's got a really good work ethic. It was kind of disappointing last year because I thought she had so much more in the tank. She's definitely one to watch for the future. I think got to keep your eyes peeled for Holly, as I think she'll be the one over the next 2 years to just come on leaps and bounds just once she gets that experience under your belt. Because a lot of distance swimming is about tactics, how you approach things, and when you're new to it, it is tough because the race does spread out a lot. It's not very often in 800 metres that you get all 8 racing all at once and all in a line. So it is one of those that you kind of got to learn the tactics, and obviously Jazz has very often been there, but now is moving more to open water. So for Holly, this is a great opportunity to get some kind of just experience under a belt of what it is like to be out in front, to be out on your own and have those race experiences. And that's what Holly needs. Is I definitely think she is a big, big talent to watch ahead of the Tokyo Olympics in 2 years.
Now, you've been around the Stockport Metro program for the last couple of years. She asked you any advice? Have you given her any tips or guidance?
No, and I don't think she needs it. I mean, Sean's got a great program there at Stockport. They've got such a history of distance swimming as well. Obviously, with having Graham Smith back in the day, they have Kerry-Ann Payne, Cassie Patton. So Sean knows what he's doing, and they've got a really solid program there. They've got quite a few athletes, so it's good for Holly. She is kind of being challenged. She's got some of the boys to race against as well and push her on in training. And I know from what the boys tell me is that Holly's always up there beating the boys, which is always the case for female distance swimmers. So yeah, she's definitely a talent and a credit to that program, and hopefully she'll come on leaps and bounds. Like I said, it is her first Commonwealth Games, so I think what a stage to be on in the Gold Coast in that venue. First kind of time racing outdoors and getting amongst it. We have got some good Australian girls across the distance events. So, and Jazz Carlin, who isn't here at this meet, is doing the last bit of preparations. But don't forget Jazz as well. So she'll be definitely in the mix. But Holly's used to racing Jazz now, so I don't think it's something that she's kind of feared or kind of thinks or she's scared of. I think for Holly, it's just about getting those race tactics right.
At this point, I want to play the Jaws music, because here comes Maria Belmonte. It's like... Da, 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 da.
I thought you were going to do the blind date music then.
Belmonte is getting a lot closer. I can if you want. Belmonte 2 seconds behind, 2.4 seconds behind Holly Hibbert and Camilla Hattersley in third place. But you can just see the Spaniard moving up there, can't you? She's just sneaking through. And still plenty of time left in this race for her to overhaul Holly Hibbert, who has been a brave front runner in this one.
I think the thing is with this race, you kind of got to swim it your own way. And Holly knows how Maria Belmonte swims. She knows that she will back-end it. So Holly knows the tactics going on here. But at the same time, Holly's just got to swim her own race, go for it, see if there's enough left in the tank to take her on. But for me, I just think Belmonte down that last 50 metres, she just comes back like an absolute train. But even still, obviously, this is the British Swimming Championship. So even if Maria Belmonte does overtake Holly, she will still be crowned British champion, hopefully, depending on what Camilla does down there in lane 3. But for Holly, she's just done a gutsy swim. She's gone out there. Hopefully she can at least even split this. I mean, we saw her turn in 4:15, so it'd be great to see her backing that up this 400 metres.
Well, look how close now the Spaniard is to her. Holly Hibbert 5:21, 5:22 for Maria Belmonte. Camilla Hattersley going pretty well too with a 5:24, but I think it's only a matter of seconds now before Belmonte takes the lead, and here she comes.
Yeah, and I think you've got to give credit to Maria Belmonte. I mean, she's got Olympic medals in this event. Her personal best time compared to Holly is probably over at least 10 seconds different. So kind of you would expect this coming into it, obviously, that Maria was going to win, and it's good that Holly has challenged that. Hopefully Holly will be kind of keeping a slight eye on what Camilla's doing down there in lane 3, and if she comes back, but hopefully now that Maria's kind of overtaken her, Holly can just hold on to her and try and use this last 200 metres to hang on.
Yeah, 4 lengths to go when they turn next time at the far end of the pool. She's not opening up a big advantage over Holly Hibbert so far. Holly is digging in and trying to make sure it's not more than about a body length and a half between the leader and second. And just out of your picture is Camilla Hattersley of City of Glasgow, who's probably about 5 or 6 metres behind our second place swimmer Holly Hibbert. The gap between first and second at the moment is about 2 seconds, and between second and third it's about the same.
I'm really interested to see what Holly can do over the 400. I said this at the World Championships last year. I do feel like Holly's stroke is more set up for the 400 metres. I think it is really tough. We've been speaking about it this week. Do you go up to the 800 and 1500? Now it's an Olympic event, or do you move down? And Holly has posted a really, really good time across the 400 metres. So it'll be interesting to see how the next few years, obviously she's still only 19, how Holly plays it. Does she move more into 815, or does she concentrate on the 200 and 400? And I think she might have more opportunities with that 4x2 relay as well if she did swim down. But I do think we saw here, Holly had such easy speed over that 400 metres and then just struggles with that back end. But she's not rested here, so hopefully we'll see her back on form at the Commonwealth Games and see what Holly is capable of.
Now, one would assume that Belmonte has got this one. The second place is definitely not secured yet, because Holly Hibbert knows not too far away is Camilla Hattersley. Look how close they're getting now. She's closing the gap with pretty much every single stroke. Belmonte is going to win this. Of that, there pretty much is no doubt with 100. Has Hattersley got enough to overhaul Holly Hibbert on the last 100?
Yeah, it's one of those, you don't actually know whether Holly can see those girls. They are a few lanes apart, and it is tough when you're a little bit further behind. I mean, the Spanish girl in lane 6 is coming back at Holly as well. So hopefully Holly can see those on the turn, and hopefully Holly's got enough left in the tank to just use that last bit of leg kick down that 50 metres and secure that second place.
Yeah, it is mighty tight, or could be mighty tight, between second and third, and the Spanish swimmer that you were talking about, Jimena Perez, is moving up into third place very nearly. Not much between her and Hattersley now. We'll say thank you very much and goodbye to Maria Belmonte, because she's gone on to win this one. Second place, Holly Hibbert is just about to hold on for second place. Third place, however, is a right old scrap between Camilla Hattersley in lane 3 and Jimena Perez in lane number 6. So the 1-2 should be secured. Belmonte comes in now. Look how close that Spaniard is getting to Holly Hibbert, but she gets there in an 8:39.98. Jimena Perez in third and Camilla Hattersley in fourth. But a full 4 seconds and more between Belmonte and Hibbert at the end.
I mean, I think that's pretty much what we predicted coming into this race, wasn't it? And it's not massively quick, but it didn't have to be for this time of year. And like I mentioned this morning in the heats, you make such huge drops when it comes to the distance races that it's kind of easy to take off those big chunks. And I'm sure Holly will go probably a good 10 seconds quicker than that at the Commonwealth Games. But it's just about getting amongst that race, isn't it? And Holly went out hard. Definitely, she went out 4:15, so it wasn't quite even split or back ending it, but at the same time she'll go back now. She's got the 400 metres this weekend as well, so she's had a busy programme already across a 4-day meet, so she's looking in great shape for say that her preparations are still 5 weeks out, and she is British champion. We can't take that away from her, even though Belmonte does get that prize money. Holly Hibbert is still British champion.
And congratulations to Maria Belmonte for setting a meet record with 8:35.71. And I'm seeing some news about Leah Crisp, which is, just give me some, was that a junior record? Leah Crisp. I did get some information coming in my headphones.
Unfortunately, Leah didn't make the European Junior qualifier time. It was a 3:48.17. Just shy of that, she went an 8:50.25. So she is just shy of that. But it is really close percentage-wise. And like we have been saying, it is up to Tim Jones, the head coach, at the discretion. They can take other athletes. So they'll look at that team, which is announced next week, 9th of March.
Right, on to the medal ceremony for the elongated 50 metres freestyle. And then, of course, we have to remember who won the original race, don't we, when we see this?
I couldn't tell you, Bob. I could not tell you.
This is what happens when we get the 50 metres freestyle and the skins. But there is our 1, 2, 3, of course. There were foreign swimmers in there, Line Munoz, for example.
I love Dawn's getting in there. Look at her.
Look at Dawn.
Team manager Dawn Pert there.
Yeah, she's getting ready for the off. In a few weeks' time, though, she's done all the recce's for that. I think she's done all the recce's for Tokyo already, actually, a couple of years out.
It doesn't surprise me. Love Dawn. She's one of the best team managers in the world.
The silver medalist representing Edinburgh University, Katie Stark.
So Katie Stark finishing in second position. It was Katie Latham, I think, who got the third for Thanet Swim. There she is.
British champion for 2018, representing Edinburgh
And Edinburgh, and there's Lucy Hope, who was the best of the Brits. in the 53. That's a good couple of days for her. Didn't win the skins tonight like she did last night, but she gets the main title from the
Hi,
Brits.
Lucy. Congratulations. Gold last night, gold tonight. You must be stoked with this one.
Yeah, I'm really happy with that. I was hurt a lot more than last night. But I'm just happy to come away with the win.
Absolutely. I mean, you did the skins event last night and skins tonight as well. You know, we're going to see you switch over to distance.
Well, I've already done the 200 freestyle, so I've got the 100 on Sunday, so hopefully that's a lot less painful.
Absolutely. Well, fingers crossed for you. Look, congratulations. Well done. Two-time British champion. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Lucy Ho!
50 meters butterfly presentation, and we weren't sure whether James Guy would get the win, but in the end he did get the win. And here we go, getting the details through, because obviously we had to sort out the Brits from the overseas swimmers on that one. James Guy, Cameron Brooks-Clark and Sam Horrocks.
Well, someone hasn't shown up their podium.
We'll say hello to Sam. Hi, Sam. Sam is not there.
Sam is probably in swim down.
Yeah, Sam was third. Second place to Cameron Brooks-Clark of City of Sheffield with a 24.47 in the final. And James Guy, well, I was just about to say, he wondered how the 400 freestyle would have affected him earlier in the session. Well, there's the answer. He's a British champion.
Yeah, and he did great over the skins, to be fair to James. He was just fantastic.
Day two, nice way to finish it, right, James?
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot of hard racing there, but it was good.
Entered a 50, ended up swimming like 250.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that, but no, it's great training, great racing all at the same time, so I'm happy with how it's gone.
Absolutely. I mean, I see you come out here, you got your earbuds in. What I want to know is, what do you listen to get yourself pumped up to race?
Honestly, it's Craig David. I absolutely love him. Yeah, he's been my favourite for a long time, so it's always him.
I love that. That's not what I was expecting, but it's brilliant. Look, congratulations, mate. British champion once again. Ladies and gentlemen, James Guy!
And there's James Guy walking away with another gold medal.
No, George, who was it? George Formby. Is that a singer?
He played the ukulele and he sung, but we were talking about back in the 1940s here.
How old are you, Bob?
Well, I wasn't around then, but I had, see, unlike you young people, I have points of reference which are before I was born.
Yeah, I'm not following. I thought you were talking about the grill.
No, you thought I was talking about George Foreman and the grill. I know you were. Heaven's sake, woman. There's no hope for you, is there? There's absolutely no hope whatsoever. Anyway, I know that many of you out there who are watching on Connected TV with the BBC or online or via YouTube will know who George Formby is. If you have just joined us, I just happened to refer to George Formby, and I got the 10-yard stare from Rebecca Andlington. But anyway, on to our final event. This in itself could be quite interesting, because I've only just received the quartet for the Germans. I've got everybody else, and by the way...
So we've got 2 Glasgow teams, an Aberdeen team, a Derby team, and a German team.
That's right, and for point of reference, Great Britain are European record holders in this. And the quartet was... So I've written it down. Have you seen it? Do you know who the quartet was who were European record holders?
Fran and Siobhan?
No.
Oh.
No.
I have no idea then.
Right, Georgia Davis, Adam Peaty, James Guy, Siobhan Marie O'Connor.
Oh.
That's your quartet who are European record holders in this event.
Wow.
It's the 4x100 metres medley relay, or as I say, it's the mixed 400 metres medley relay. I'm going to get the people to sort this out. That's the American way of doing things. So it will be City of Glasgow in lane 1, City of Glasgow 2 in lane 4. Sorry, so first Glasgow team in 3, second Glasgow team in 4, Aberdeen Performance in 5, City of Derby in 6, Germany in 7. So how do you sort this one out? Which order do you swim them in?
Poor Hannah Miley. She's got another race.
Yeah.
Let the girl rest.
So it's interesting how people are as we start to learn more about mixed relays, whether you put the men out front, you put the men at the back, you do man, woman, or woman, man, man.
I think it's tactically, isn't it better to put a man on the breaststroke?
I think that owns you a few seconds, doesn't it? So Glasgow 1 are going with a man lead off, Glasgow 2 are going with a woman lead off, Aberdeen are going with a woman lead off, Derby are going with a woman lead off, and Germany are going with a man as a lead off. Quite a change there.
What did we do when we got the British record? Where it was Georgia Davis.
Georgia Davis lead off.
So
yeah.
it was a woman leading off. But we've got Adam Peaty.
Yeah, it's got Peaty, and you've got James Guy off the back of that.
Yeah.
So that's why. But absolutely flying, as you might expect, to Germany on the far side. But they do have Christian Diener as their lead off, who has made an Olympic final.
Sometimes it is just about who you've got on your team, isn't it?
Yeah, so he'll be followed by Maximilian Pilger and Alexandra Wenck, and then
Maximilian, that's a great name.
Then we've got Anna Stephanie Ditterly on the anchor leg. The 4 for Glasgow, Jo Watt, Cameron Muir, Emily Horn and Gulsum O'Neill. Emma Scully, Jack McCornish, Sean Campsey and Anna Fleming. Aberdeen, Caroline McIntosh, Hannah Miley, second up. Tom Bealey, Harry Stacey and City of Derby, Ellie Mitchell, Campbell Stephen, Sophie Yendel and Shay Bradley. But look at the Germans.
Yeah, I can't see anyone catching the Germans, but they have got the 2 women on the back leg, so you just never ever know.
Well, it's Diener followed by Pilger. It's going to be a huge lead here, but I say a bit like the points race in the disability swimming. If you top end your best swimmers, then obviously the one at the back tends to lose a bit of ground, and they will catch them. There won't be this big gap between the Germans and everybody else when they get into the next stage of the race, but at the moment that's a huge lead for Maximilian Pilger. So who is the closest at the moment? Who's emerging on your screen? It is Glasgow in lane 3. So let's see how big the lead is at the halfway stage. 1:58. Plays 10 seconds, 11 seconds, 12 seconds. 10 seconds it is between first and second, but now it is the 2 women for Germany, Alexandra Wenck and Anna Stephanie Dietrich.
Still, this is a pretty impressive lead, isn't it? I mean, it's a long way to claw back this, but it is possible, and I think that's what makes these relays so exciting. The lead does change so much, but you definitely don't want too much wash and wave, which sometimes you get when you put the men first.
So it's Alexandra Wenck of Germany. We'll need to widen that shot so we know what everybody else is doing. We're just looking at the German at the moment. We need to see what everybody else is doing. Because otherwise, we can only tell you where the Germans are and nobody else.
I don't think they're catching them.
So last 100 for the Germans. And taking over, it is Anna Stephanie Ditterly. Second place for the second Glasgow team with Sean Campsey. And third coming in will be Tom Bealey for the team from Aberdeen. So can anybody get anywhere near Anna Stephanie Ditterly? She will be closed down, and is being closed down by a flying couple of swimmers in the centre of the pool, but nobody's emerged yet.
No way are they catching her.
Well, we'll see. See how close they can get to her. Anyway, I think the Germans really broke the back of everybody else, didn't they, with their lead-off legs. Germans are so much dominant in this. Unfortunately, that's all we've seen on our screen, so I can't tell you what anybody else is doing. But the Germans are going to come in to win this in 3:56.72. Here's the scrap for second place between the 2 Glasgow teams. No, Glasgow and Aberdeen. Aberdeen getting second, 4:03.96, and City of Glasgow 2, if you like, 4:06.14, and City of Glasgow 1 finishing in 4th. So let's see if there's any DQs.
Relay takeovers.
Yes.
You'd like to think everyone's played it pretty safe.
Well, let's see. They will have to be checked back. Has everything been confirmed on the board yet? No, it hasn't. Yes, it has now, I think. So I think everything is... Yeah, I think it has now been confirmed up on the board. Germany, University of Aberdeen and City of Glasgow too. We'll wait for the confirmation on our screen, which should be coming up any moment now. 3:56.72, the winning time for the Germans. So the last thing that we have to do before we depart is see the medal ceremony for Europe. They've actually got you to present this.
I'm up here with you though, Bob.
Yeah, no, but you'd rather be down there, wouldn't you, to be honest. Maria Belmonte, the winner, but she will not receive the gold because, of course, all the medals have to go to the home athletes. So the British champion of 2018 will be Holly Hibbert of Stockport Metro. Camilla Hattersley, who finished 4th, will be given the silver. And Polly Holden, who I got a message about today, we were talking about her this morning in the heats with the big improvement that she made, has actually done a quicker time than she did this morning at the Bucks last month. So now we know, obviously, that our entry time was over 9 minutes, but again,
still a great swim from her in the morning, so credit to her. Still good, well done.
Yeah, 8:48 tonight. 9:01 was her seeded time, but 8:48 is what she did in the finals. As we see the presentation for 3rd place. Nova Centurions, Polly Hart, I'm getting them mixed up with somebody else, I know. That was another Polly.
Oh.
That was another Polly. I saw Polly and I thought, oh, that's the one we were talking about this morning, but that was actually another Polly. 2nd place for the Brits to Camilla Hattersley of the City of Glasgow swim team with an 8:41.08. And as far as the Brits are concerned, 19-year-old Holly Hibbert is our gold medalist and our British champion for 2018 with an 8:39.98. Maria Belmonte winning it for the Europeans, but we'll hear from Holly, who is going to have a word with John now.
Congratulations, Holly, our British champion. What a way to finish the night. You must be over the moon.
Yeah, I'm pleased with that swim. You know, training's tough at the minute, so swim fast is pretty hard, but I'm pleased with that swim.
Of course, it was a great one. And I mean, you made your international debut, Budapest last year, made the final in the race. You head into Commonwealth Games. Are you excited to get back on the international stage again?
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm really looking forward to Australia.
It's going to be amazing. And the sun's shining there. It's not snowy, right?
Yeah, it's better than the weather here.
Absolutely. Look, congratulations. Well done. Ladies and gentlemen, Holly Hibbert.
Yeah, well done, Holly. British champion for 2018 in the 800 meters freestyle. So we are halfway done. Rebecca Adlington will be here for the heats on day 3. Again, just a closing question to you. Standout swim of the night?
Oh.
Is that a tough one?
That is a really tough one. I'd probably go for Jay Elliott on the 400 metres. I just think that was a really, really good swim for him, and it was great to see him back on good form.
Yeah, good to see him back, and it was a cracking race as well. And well done to James Guy for becoming the 50 fly champion for 2018. That will do it from us. We will be back with the heats at 20 to 9 in the morning. Don't forget the finals at 4:45 tomorrow night on Connected TV, online and also on YouTube. So from the team here in Edinburgh, it's a very good night and enjoy your Friday. See you Saturday. Bye-bye.